this bizarro birthright citizenship deal, because I know that people have read the actual draft of the bill. I mean, Sean Gumatauta sent me a copy of it yesterday. I know that people have read the thing, and it doesn't actually say anything in there about taking away our citizenship, or if I'm blessed again with finding somebody in childbearing years, and through some miracle, a baby comes bouncing out into Tom Shea's waiting arms. Does that mean that child will be a third-class citizen? Because the way that everybody is running around here these days, you would think that they were going to take it right back and pull it from everybody going back to the Organic Act. We're going to... I don't know.
There's have citizenship reveals when you're born.
If I wasn't an American citizen, then what would I actually end up being? I mean, we don't have an actual country of.
Man, I want to be Filipino.
You know what? I like the food. What can I say?
I want to be Filipino.
Like the food, pretty girls. There's that. You know what? You know what we can be. We can be, and I don't generally correct people because I appreciate them taking an interest in our history, our language, our culture, and things like that. But I was with some folks the other day, Liberation Day, as a matter of fact, and they were trying to remember, and I was trying to help them out with it, the name of the group of young lads that after the Liberation Day or two had taken over, and the Marines still needed help mopping things up and cleaning things up. They found young local lads that would guide them through the boonies and the forests of Guam, and so one of they were saying, now what was the name of this group of young Chamorrans? I've heard it a couple of times. I think I've seen something over on the base about these Chamorrans that went out there and helped the Marines clean up. And eventually somebody Googled it. Guam Combat Patrol was the thing, but it was the way they used the phrase Chamorrans, and like I said, I didn't want to correct anybody, but who am I to say, right? Am I Eric Forbes to roll around and correct people on what they believe, how we address ourselves?
I like it, Chamorrans.
So yes. So that will be if this guy Griffith takes away my citizenship. Yes. Yeah.
Make the shirt.
Copyright
already,
that quick before Opaque gets it. And the Buckeye guys get it, right? Right. Just to copyright that right now. We'll come up with cool petroglyphic characters or something like that. I don't know. It's all in my head. So and that's why I was late getting to the YouTube side. I completely forgot about it. Thank you very much, Jefe Chiamo Grazi, for bringing it up and saying what? No YouTube.
Yeah, Senator Sean texted me too. Are you okay? He said, "Are you guys okay? You're not on YouTube."
Not on the YouTube. Thanks, Johnny.
They fixed it.
But yes, it's back. I can see me on YouTube now with my histrionics and all of that. Now the other thing that I was trying to sort out here was whether if this guy Morgan Griffiths is the new Dave Davis. I mean, contextually, you can feel the venom floating around here. But Dave was the guy that had gone to the Supreme Court. And fighting things that he thought were racist in nature, like whether or not a completely pasty white guy like him could could enroll himself on the Chamorran registry.
Vote in your Brown election.
Yeah, exactly. And here's this guy over here that seems to be bent on what's destabilizing the firmness of our relationship with the federal government of the United States. I don't know. You guys are bigger thinkers than I am. But the other one was from today's Guam Daily Post, and a couple of stories here. Guam leaders unite to oppose birthright citizenship measures, and then another story where they're digging into analyst Leland Bettis, who says the missile system may be missing the missile. And Joe shows me a picture of this on his way back in. I said, "Did they check Swamp Road?"
If someone stole it, they don't even know it's gone yet.
Right. Yeah.
You said look under the skirt yesterday, right?
Right. I said
we
look
look under.
Did you look under and check?
Is there anything there?
Did you guys see any dudes with short hair and no teeth on bicycles when you
Took all the copper out of that missile ring.
Is there a catalytic converter?
There could be.
in the thing. So that's our feeble attempt at the humor here this morning. Just go, you guys in the Army, go and check on Swamp Road and see what you can find out there. Isn't that where? Remember when after Moroir, the GPA had a generator. I mean, not a small generator. This was like a big generator on a trailer, and somebody turned their head and didn't realize there was dudes with short hair and no teeth riding bicycles around, and they managed to lasso that generator. And my guess is they took it to somebody and said, "Hey, you want to buy my generator?" And the guy said, "Get that thing the hell out of here."
Low hours on this generator.
Not going to jail for on your little spree here. So they abandoned the thing out in the boondocks somewhere. At any rate, so those are a couple of thoughts in my head, and I was trying to come up with some kind of summary as we could make our way into the program, and it made me forget to do things like open up the YouTube thing and start checking on who came in first. So what I'm basically saying is, if you're on the Facebook side and you came in first, I have no record of it.
It's all right, man.
Didn't open that page until
have to a day and move on.
Well, yes. What's that? Do you like the shirt?
Oh, that's a shirt now?
No. What are you talking about? Turn on the microphone.
That would be a good thing on a shirt. A day and move on.
Write it down, Real Joe.
I don't know.
Write it down. Somebody out there will back us up on this. We'll get sponsors for it. A day and move on, as Grandma said. 888-255-888-TALK. That's the telephone number. If you've got some witticisms that you'd like to spread amongst the community, like a day and move on. But otherwise, if you've got some observations, thoughts in your head about some of the things that are popping up in so-called news on Guam these days, you're more than welcome to share them with us here at 93.3 The Point. You want to get into conversations, debates, or whatever? More than happy to get into some of that with you, or if you just want to, just talk. Ray, I gotta get it off my chest. I don't know. It was hot the other day. I was thinking about going and jumping into the Agana swimming pool, and I realized I still can't do that. That's my trigger to count up. We are at 4,160 days since the Agana swimming pool was temporarily closed because somebody literally poo in it. And then, that's what happened.
They're getting busy there, though.
I'm noticing
lots of movement.
Noticing that, the new structures and things like that.
Hard hats.
Yeah.
I can see the hard hats above the little fence.
Leland, check there for the missile. Go check again. They haven't put water in there yet. It's a perfect hiding place. So we'll just put a blue tarp over. We'll go to ERC and get a blue tarp and put it over the thing. Nobody will know.
Chinese are watching.
620. No, Chinese are everywhere looking for an election to steal. Hey, we've got one coming up. I don't know if you've noticed. At any rate, so 888-825-888-TALK. The meme machine is online. Wondering if I remember to send anything myself in the memes. I had a rather busy last night. Went to Beans and Barrels because one of our favorite new senatorial candidates has had a fundraiser going on last night.
Who?
John Savares.
Oh, Jonathan.
The Dark Eagle.
Is he the Dark Eagle?
Bro, you ever see... you ever see the clown cars? Where it's like a little car and then like 17 million people get out of it. Okay, so John's mom, the mayor, has got this van, and I saw her pull up, and I saw a bunch of people.
Van.
No, it's a good size van.
Okay.
It's like soccer mom size van, right? Mayor mom van, and so she pulls up, backs up to the front door at B&B, and then an army of volunteers go out and literally brought out hundreds of pounds worth of food.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like one trip. I can see the mayor say, I'm only one trip. I'm only to put it in the van.
Bro.
We'll take it all down there. And it was that clown car feeling where you're watching this, and every time somebody went up to, with empty hands, here's more food coming out. And that was just the one side Well, they cleared out the one side. You got to go open the van door on the other side. And a good time was had by all. I bought some raffle tickets, but I didn't stick around to find out whether I won. So somebody out there is. Actually, I don't even know what the prizes were. I don't. They didn't. They had a big
Portions
table of food.
Dedito.
They had a big table of food, and where they would have had the big pile of prizes to give away, they had Gene Castro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Did he tell any jokes?
all of them.
Hey, we love you, Gene.
All of them.
Dude, that dude's super famous.
Bro,
man.
I'm gonna steal some. When you're off island again, I'm gonna take your whole act and do it on the radio. Anyway, that was a good time, and it prevented me from finding all kinds of cool memes to share with you. That doesn't mean I don't have any. Keith is the meme machine playboy, always has been. Got one here today from the El Arroyo sign. You know, we got the gas stations that got signs on them with motivational phrases. El Arroyo is one in the States. The phrase "don't take this the wrong way" has a 0% success rate. And finally, before we get
you to take it wrong
into a roll call, can I tell you what? This might be a psychological thing. I might need to get checked out by somebody. But you remember Monday we had what's his name on the Facebook that said something that it took me a second to understand. And that is W begins with a D.
Yeah.
That's been rolling around in my head
That's
as almost like a concept, almost a spiritual concept. I mean, this is traffic
And
light.
ugly begins with you.
What? But wait. W begins with a D. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? Yeah, when you say W, D, how do you spell WD? And so, but then it occurred to me, wait a second, a W is a double U. That's two U's. U is a vowel.
That's right.
So why is W a consonant? What? No, you cannot. There cannot be a why not. Sister Emmeline, any none.
Just don't mess up my pronouns,
Of
dude.
the Sisters of Mercy, one of you knows the answer to this, and maybe
Sister Emily.
I was absent that day. I don't understand why. Why? How is it possible? I'm totally serious. What is there like a legislature or something like this? Does the Vatican meet to talk about what letters we have in the alphabet? And we got a W, which is two W's, but it's not a vowel. It is a consonant. Shouldn't it be? Are consonants, and that got me thinking, are consonants better than vowels, or are vowels better than consonants? Is there a thing in your head? And literally, this turns in my head before I'm going to sleep at night, and now it's going to turn in your head before you go to sleep tonight as well. Anyway, 6:27 in the morning, lots and lots on the table of contents. So we will go over some interesting birthright stuff. For me, again, it comes down to an opportunity, and the more I think about it, the more I think there is a serious way that we might be able to game this thing, because this Griffith bill isn't going to go anywhere in the House. I think Amata Radawagon and Jimmy Craig are going to beat up on. They're going to find him in the parking lot, and they're just going to and then they're going to take care of all of this, and this will be a memory in the back. But somewhere somebody needs to put together the model in the different languages of our source markets, trying to entice the couples that are expecting babies to come out to Guam. Can you imagine? Being able to take something like a couple of floors of the Hyatt or the Dusit or even PIC, and dedicate that just to pre-delivery and then post-delivery care. And we'd have a bunch of clerks running around so that the second the baby is ready to leave the hospital, they've got a social security card, they've got a birth certificate stamped USA on it, and access to the Trump money. We've talked about this before. Any baby born, a United States citizen, any U.S. citizen baby born now has got access to these Trump dollars. Somebody's going to, open an account. It's got $1,000 in it, and I think that in and of itself would be a significant incentive to get people out here to have their babies on Guam. We need to get in front of this before somebody else does. That's an even sexier destination than us. We can go from being Love Island to Baby Island. We got to go from this yak yak to news yak here. And so what? I know it's all. I don't want to start the roll call because I started all the feeds late. So anyway. We'll jump into more of that kind of thing. And I think, Donna, if she hasn't already done it, the big story is the price of gas at the gas station. We'll talk about that as well. Donna D with news and headlines at 6:29-ish. What's going on?
GPD is withholding the name of the officer involved in a July 11 crash on Route 1 in Chico that killed 21-year-old Airman Ruben Rausch. GPD spokesperson Norman Analista says withholding the name protects the ongoing investigation. The officer is on an administrative leave, while the Highway Patrol Division and Internal Affairs investigate the collision. Meanwhile, gas prices raised regular gasoline by 20 cents to $5.93 per gallon and diesel by 30 cents to $6.75. Following the collapse of the U.S.-Iran ceasefire, President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire over on July 9, renewing hostilities that strained global oil supplies through the Strait of Hormuz and drove up crude oil prices. And Senators Therese Tarahi and Sabina Perez introduced Bill 343 to expand local veterans' benefits by eliminating the 10-year expiration rule for surviving spouses. The bill ensures benefits continue until remarriage or death, updates guardian timelines, and redefines legal terms established by Public Law 31-240 to better support military families and caregivers. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Okay. 31 on the Ray Gibson Show. We'll find out what's going on in traffic and more. Might get a shorter roll call than usual here in between now and 7 o'clock. So you just stay there.
When Guam is not heard in Washington, our families pay the price. We pay it in higher costs, in housing that feels out of reach, in food assistance put at risk, in our Manamco and neighbors with disabilities still waiting for benefits they've earned. Mary Camacho Torres is running to change that. She'll fight to lower costs, deliver fairness for our veterans and downwind communities, and make sure Guam finally has a voice that's heard. This election, vote Mary Camacho Torres for Congress, #1 on the ballot.
I'm Mary Camacho Torres, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Torres for Congress Committee.
APL, global presence with a local home. APL is a U.S. flag shipping company, delivering from the U.S., Asia, and Europe with weekly arrivals to Guam and Saipan. Our local Guam team is committed to serving all your logistical needs. Call us at 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Half a day, I'm Mary Ann Suya Lujan. My husband, Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, is ready to continue working for the people of Guam. Jesse works hard on the everyday issues that matter to your island. And as his wife, I see the dedication and effort he puts into serving your community. I humbly ask for your vote for my husband, Jesse Lujan, this election. Si Diyos maase, maraming salamat po.
I'm Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
Thank you, Michael. 6:32, Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by Kim and Ron and all those beautiful people at Security Title. Don't believe me. Just wait until you need to have some escrow thing done and you say, oh, you saved me some money or title searches, all of that kind of thing. Yeah, they're beautiful, especially when they're coming through for you. 6:32 on the Ray Gibson Show. Quick look at what's going on in the roadways. It's still fairly early for anybody to get all wrapped up about things. And there's nothing going on the roads. I'll keep this short. Nothing major up in Jigo, southbound Marine Corps Drive. Pretty much all the way into downtown Agutnia. You might run into a couple of stoplights here or there. I'm saying just blow them, if there's no cops around. Anyway, so you get down to downtown again, you take a look around. If you're still headed south, guarantee you will run into a little bit of traffic over by the port and the cemetery area, and things looking slower than usual at 6:30 at the main gate at Naval Base Guam. That's it. That's all the traffic you need right now. On the point.
I'm Sabrina Salas-Matznani, and I approve this message.
Some people run for office for recognition and personal agendas, and there are those like Senator Sabrina Salas-Matznani. Bree doesn't seek the limelight, and her only agenda is us. Bree continues to battle on our behalf, championing the needs of GMH, advocating for Guam's veterans, and bringing cannabis another step closer to becoming an industry. Bree elects Senator Sabrina Salas-Matznani, #12 on the Republican ballot. Bree, the difference.
This summer, fall in love with a new Nissan. Enjoy financing as low as 3.99% APR all summer long on select models. Whether you're looking for sporty, rugged, or family-friendly, Nissan Guam has the perfect ride waiting for you. Just one test drive and you'll be saying, I love me a Nissan. Don't miss your chance to save big and feel the love this summer. See us first. On approved credit, some conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details. Right on. 6:34, Ray Gibson Show portions. Wait a second. That time check. I gotta get it right? That time check brought to you by Mateo Mortera.
This time check is brought to you by Mateo Mortera for Senator. It's time to stem the flow of math. Mateo will do that. Vote Mateo Mortera for Senator. Building bridges for the next generation.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I got you back there, Stephen Blake. I got you back on screen right now. Maybe you've seen in the Tamuning area, missing male Shih Tzu named Chris. Chris?
That's a great name.
It's a people name.
Yeah. It's popular.
I know. I just okay. Well, maybe
Yes, I want to pet Hector.
Another one of those conceptual discussions that we're going to have is dogs with people names. Anyway, Chris in Tamuning near Kmart last night at 9. On the 21st, the fireworks scared my Chris, and he ran off. Please help me find him. There is a reward. He's very friendly, but he will be scared. He's 3 years old, tricolor, brown, white, black Shih Tzu, again named Chris. If you've seen the animal, Chris, just call. I'll put the number out here, Steve. I hope you don't mind. 864-9515. 864-9515. If you find the dog or you catch wind of it, but don't remember that number, just find me and I'll see if I can hook you up with
AirTag your dog
with Chris's dad, Fluffy.
Oh.
Can we start giving children puppy names?
Yeah.
You want to? I'm sorry, it's in my head now, and now it's got to be in your head. A couple other things before I get started into anything that feels serious here. Axios, you know what? This is the front page of Axios' newsletter, so maybe this is a serious story. It says, "Go ahead, pour another cup." It's a coffee story. Most adults can safely consume up to 400 milligrams of caffeine daily. That's about 5 8-ounce cups of coffee. So what have I got here? My thing is 20 ounces of coffee. So that's about all I get. So we're going to go 5 by 840. Okay, that's double what I drink. Black coffee is also linked to lower risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, heart failure, and some irregular heart rhythms. According to Gregory Marcus, chair of the group behind the review, said that such an amount is safe and does not risk cardiovascular issues. He does warn that high doses of caffeine, such as those found in energy drinks, including energy shots, may have harmful effects on your heart and should be avoided. Caffeine can affect people in different ways. What works for one person may cause heart palpitations or sleep issues for another. The AHA notes that it's difficult to separate the effects of caffeine from other ingredients usually added to the coffee, like milk, cream, flavored syrups, or sugar. What is the appropriate number of vanilla pumps to put into your coffee? I remember standing behind somebody making an order, and they wanted something like 12 pumps of.
Jeez, man.
Right? Yeah. No. And there was already sugar in the thing.
Diabetes.
The group's findings are based on a review of the latest research and scientific studies into caffeine and coffee's health benefits and drawbacks. So if you're one of those people that feels guilty about having too much coffee in the morning, well, you know, what did the guy say the number was? Like 5 8-ounce servings of coffee. And you should be good after that.
Donna doesn't put sugar in her coffee.
Well, I don't either.
That's why you guys are not sweet.
The coffee, it's just that, you know, life is short, and at least I heard life was short, and I just don't. I always feel like it's a waste of time. To sit there at the counter, and there's the sweet and low or the sugar, and then we're going to put some milk or creamer or something in there, and you know, and then you're going to fuss.
Too much work. I'm not a barista.
You'll fuss with it. You'll fuss with it. You'll go, okay, that's not enough sugar. Oh, that's too much sugar. I've got to add more coffee. I got to, you know, there's too much milk now in the thing. You just, and it takes you 20 minutes to get to the perfect cup. So I'll give you the Ray Gibson routine. It starts with. Jose's coffee that comes to us gifted from California. And then I grind the coffee beans, about 117 of them. It's the hardest part is counting the exact number of beans that go into my grinder. I'm just kidding.
He's got a bean counter.
It's about half a cup of rice is about what I use. And so I take that, I put it in filtered. I put it in just a plain old Kmart Mr. Coffee And then I put the grounds in there, and then I put 20 ounces of not fresh water, but filtered water in that, and then I go take a shower. By the time I'm done with the shower, it's time to pour it into the tureen and put a couple of ice cubes in there so that I can drink it faster. I don't have to wait for it to cool down to something that's about the right temperature to enjoy it. And that's the beginning of the caffeinated Ray Gibson. What's your story? Anyway, 20 away from 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, 20 away from 7 o'clock in the morning. It is the Ray Gibson Show, and about time for us to say good morning to all of these coffee snobs here.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
His name is Chris the Shih Tzu. And even Tattoo Shauna chiming in on that little concept there. Apparently she's got a fur baby named Evie.
Oh,
yeah. I said I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about Pokemon. I don't know anything about babies. 117 coffee beans. That's all I know. In 19 minutes, it'll be 7 a.m. All right. So the first guy that checked in this morning, or the first guy that I saw on the app of record here, which is on the iPad, is Jefe Chamo Grazi, who was complaining because we weren't on YouTube. Thank you very much for your observes, and I got it straightened out. Smug Wimp is online saying good morning to all of his favorite point familia. Among our favorites, the Christine Oliver says, almost there, let's go. Happy Thursday. Biba, happy eve of Friday, says Ken Augustin. More from Smug says, I always used to get small shocks when touching metal objects, but it recently stopped. Needless to say, I'm ecstatic. Thank you. Is that still an issue over at the Village of Donkey? Is that still a... Okay, so maybe they figured out how to ground the building or something. I don't know. No, you didn't know this?
I did.
Okay, yeah. You can walk around the Village of Donkey, and as you're passing by, your ions interacting with the negative ions and whatever, and then every once in a while you touch something metallic and you get shocked. They have signs that we're talking about that in the thing, basically saying it's your imagination. It's your imagination. You know
it's on you.
It started when they stopped playing the Donkey song.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go. Anyway, so Smug's online doing dad jokes. That's cool. Andy Terlahi. Jose Martinez. He's warpathing this morning. Our politicians ought to be more focused on the current fact that there is no language protecting a very real and productive group of residents in Guam and other territories. Children born in the territories and both parents are habitual residents. COFA are not exempt from the denial of birthright citizenship. Ali Malakas online, Richard Leon. There'll be more from Jose. Vince Bora, the senator. Good to see you last night over at John's Deal. Andy Terlahi with an obit here says, rest in peace, Parian Franklin A. Perez, Marine and retired GPD officer. Condolences to Mully MJ and the family. Thank you, Andrew, for commemorating him here. More from Jose. I'm very vocal about this issue, not so much because of the subject matter, but that our elected representatives and some of those seeking our votes have completely gotten this bill wrong. It's so embarrassing. Joe Mesa is on the thing. I got a friend, and she's like a nurse. And doesn't normally, plug into stuff like this. But even she on her Instagram last night did a riff about, I think you guys need to read the thing. I think you guys need to, we're not the target here. And they use that emoji of the girl hitting herself on the forehead.
Yeah.
Face palm is the emoji that I think a lot of people are using these days. The fabricated outrage is stark. Richard Leon, he's always got something interesting to say. No political replies from campaigner because birthright citizenship was an abused GVP moneymaker. Jesse Nanette Aurelio Pareda, Cecile Bambasuda hanging out. Alpha Omega checking in from Live Oak, Texas. Our Guam leaders opposing HR 9724 are an embarrassment. And the crazy thing is they're embarrassmenting themselves with just a few days away from the primary election. Do you realize what this is looking like to some voters that thought maybe they would be seeing something that felt a little bit, I don't know, sober in the conversation? Anyway, where are you, ex-dying headers? Good morning to the point. Thank you very much. More from Jose Peterson says Sutta Prim. More from Ken Augustin. Aya Day, just move on. It's a thing now. Mike Rios hanging out in the machines. Brian Craighan says great shoe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's this Asics Ghost. No, Nike. What?
He can see your shoe?
Brooks. They're Brooks. I don't know. I think maybe he wanted to say great show, but back in the old days. The Allen Sex shoe, something like that. Anyway, Auntie Bennett's online telling you which of her favorite Republicans to vote for. Chuck Hazard, good to see you on the machine. We're all strong because of Eric Chung sending his greetings to Chuck Hazard. This program is a great opportunity for any politician or candidate who initially protested the birthright bill to apply a mea culpa to U.S. voters for speaking without being well informed. Let this be the start of a policy to think before you speak.
Oh, my God.
Auntie Bennett, Elizabeth Mendiola is saying, Keats is saying, good morning to Auntie Bennett. Tattoo Shauna says, coffee is life. All right, pro tip, Tattoo Shauna from Jeff Pleadwell from Pirates Cove. He says, honey in coffee is the best, and he is a bee man all on his own. Just FYI.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good to see you in the machine here. And Tattoo Shauna says, yes, Donna, Eevee is named after the Pokemon Eevee.
Oh.
There it is. Benny Rosalind online. Delta Force Group members, early voting 270 voted for Ada Calvo for gubernatorial. Senator Jesse Anderson Lujan and the team, 15 Republican senatorial, and Mary Camacho Torres for Congress. Delta Force Group continue to do early voting. They will deliver all 1,927 for the Republicans, 5,000 plus on August the 1st. Republican it is, he says. All right, where are we? Tattoo Shauna says, I'm either monster or derpy without coffee. I can't be out in public. Okay, gotcha. Can somebody do a quick definition of what is derpy? This new phrase I've never heard. Derpy, like lunga or something like that. Mike Leguetnia checking in from Air Warfare Weapons Integration Facility out in Arizona, in the USA. And if, I think if there's places in Arizona that you might be able to go to, tiny little border towns maybe they've got there that where you can go and get yourself birthright tourism. Just here to visit a friend. Do you have a hospital? Do you have someplace I might be able to deliver a baby out in this part? Bob Kelly at 647, writing on the meme machine, says, I respectfully say you are wrong, Ray.
Uh-oh. Trigger.
A W is not two W's. It's actually two V's. Looks like that.
Yeah.
You know, because back in the olden days, Bob, back in the olden days, the monks, as they were transcribing and doing all of the beautiful illuminations and copying books and things like that, they didn't always have a lot of ink. So in order to save ink, they made the double U's. Instead of looking like two U's side by side, they sharpened up the bottom so that they could save ink, and that's why we've got W's that look like V's instead of the thing like a doggin.
I agree.
Anyway, that's
Did you make that up?
Just now.
Because you were very close.
Just now, off the top of my head. Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, doctor.
Now you know, Bob Kelly.
Yes. Okay,
it
doctor.
started off with two U's to make a W sound. Medieval times, right? Then you know how it is, and
they
sharpened
it up.
Yeah, they sharpened it.
Yeah. Because they were using quills back in those days. They didn't have like a lot of brushes where we could make it
stab you with words back then.
There you go.
That's why they made them sharp.
Ooh, as in Wuhan virus. Okay, got it. Yep. This conversation about birthright tourism. Birthright. That's the COVID-19. The COVID-19 of topics for us here today. All right, groovy. And maybe even Tom Shea. Tom has been tickling the topic on his social medias. I don't know if you've been if you follow him, but you should. In between stories about his grands and the family and all of that, he's now asking the question: should I invest more in birthright tourism? I mean, if it's legal, as Ray Gibson says on the radio, if birthright tourism is legal, then why can't we? Why shouldn't we? What's stopping us? And Tommy's problem, though, is that he is one of a handful of people in that game here on Guam. We don't have a whole lot of OBGYNs in this town, and folks that might be in baby delivering mode all the time, and so it might be one of those things where he would have to make a choice whether he was going to take care of, say, a handful of birthright moms at a birthing facility that shall be. Where would we put that to? Where would we put a birthing facility? I mean, just a really nice one
with a baby store in the lobby.
DFS,
Pampers.
Oh yeah.
DFS, Tendinelli
formula.
Tendinelli. That's what we. You know what? My grandparents had a store called Tendinelli. He had literally baby store. Or store baby, depending on where you want to put things. But yeah, Tendinelli is we could do something like that, and so we just come in pregnant, and 2 hours later, here you are with the baby and all of the stuff that Infusion gives away for the New Year's baby. We can do that every day.
Yeah,
just big packages like little half containers full of baby stuff. Anyway, just kind of thinking on the fly. Burn Grease Samarita says, "Good morning, Ray. It's a beautiful day, and thank you for keeping us informed." Bern, I appreciate the sentiment here. The fact that anything that comes out of my mouth might be informational to you should come as a surprise to both of us. There isn't all that much going on here. We've come out of the disappointment of a Liberation Day without a parade and real carnival kind of atmosphere. I think there's people that might still be missing that. One of the things about Liberation Day and the parade and the carnival and all of the observations and things like that, for me, it's a milestone. It's a marker of where we are on the calendar. I mean, because it's always been there. It's like Christmas and New Year's and the Super Bowl and the Feast of the Immaculate Conception and all of that. It's one of those. It's on the calendar. You see it, you recognize it, you pass it, and you realize that okay, everything from the years behind us now. We've got stuff in front of us, i.e., back to school. And Donna's making the face here. And she's graduated already, but she's got people.
She's above it all.
She's got people that are going to school that are still in the actual system. So apparently, August the 10th, Donna, is the back to school date for the public school kids. Yeah. What's that going to be like? I'm serious, and I think. Hey, do me a favor, put Vince Borja in a thing. Let's see if we can find Vince and see what his expectations are for back to school for 2026. So I mean, we've got everything squared away with the Teeds and guys, Teeds and the Titans and the Sharks, right? We know exactly what's going to be happening with them. Did the lady?
It's going to be smooth.
Did the lady over the busing over at DPW has that list gone out yet on where the kids are going to get abandoned at the bus shop, the bus stops in the morning? Curious minds want to know. And it is about that. So if you're listening to this broadcast, you're a budding journalist or reporter for KUM or one of the newspapers or something like that, and you're looking for something to report on today, make a phone call to DPW and find out how we are doing on the number of buses. Do we have new tires? Do we have batteries for them? All of that, oil, whatever. Have they all gone through some kind of maintenance? Do we have enough drivers for the buses that are going to be needed to shuttle all of our students, especially all of the ones from the north end of town to central, way in the central of Guam over at Tian, to make sure that they have got. And what's the pecking order going to be? Are they going to get picked up first? Or are we going to have students waiting for the bus while it's still dark up in the north end of town? Or wait a second, it's like that all the time, isn't it? Anyway, so that's one of the things. The perennial. There's always going to be stories, and I know you've already got a news director or an editor or something like that you'd normally take instructions from, but you can take the instructions from me. And trust me, people will appreciate getting a load of that story. And again, go and find Judy Wanpat and let's find out how are we doing with all of the schools. Are they all ready to start taking the kids? Did we clean out that bobby smell from all of the people that took shelter in the schools? Is that going to be all ready to go? Ponder, and we'll see what the reporting looks like tomorrow. What's that? Roland Torres. Oh, no. Dad joke. with racial overtones.
Oh, boy.
Can we?
Can you?
Yeah. Trigger warning.
Oh, man.
Roland Torres
Go for
asking
it.
if we spin an Oriental person 3 times, do they become disoriented? Thank you very much, Ro. Appreciate that. Or Carlene Harker's online. What's that? More from Jose. All politicians and candidates opposing the birthright bill are living examples of the emperor has no clothes. And QRSTUV double V X Y and Z. See, it's W, not double V. We can get it. We can fight this battle.
Stop it.
Where's my old English teacher from the University of Guam? Where's Diane Strong? Diane Strong she would straighten me out.
Where's my GED counselor?
GED counselor, right on. Anyway, 6:55 in the morning. Wait, Bob's typing in a rebuttal. Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. Quickly, on the YouTube side, let's find out what these troublemakers are up to here. Tomorrow Boy says, hello, good. Stephen Klein with a good morning wish. Guam under the sea says, about time. Okay, I got it. Guam, USA, and Bel Maritova says, write a letter. Lao 671 says, Hapaday Ray and my point family. Good to see you there, Renee. Brother Renee. Tattoo Sean Gumatau is checking in from Telefofo. Thanks for waiting out the stream here, buddy. Might want to talk to you as well. Tattoo Sean might have got, I would say it's probably the most measured response, but it's not from him as candidate Sean Gumatau. It's from him as Supreme Leader of the Republican Party of Guam, or Chairman, or whatever the title is. But it's a little bit more of a restrained deal. Doesn't take that long to read. The only problem is I can't find it in the pile of things that I'm going to end up reading to you at some point today. Anyway, so Shawnee's out there. I got Tomorrow Boy, Peter Santos, Bad Boy 671 Guam Barbecue. Leslie St. says, good morning to everybody. Jesse Parade, Buenos and Day. And Alupang Guam says, respectively, disagree, Ray. If Guam ever made significant money openly exploiting birthright citizenship loopholes, Uncle Fed would shut it down like they did to Saipan in the 1990s. How dare you? How dare you be successful at something without our permission? Lover of the King Jesus says, good morning, Point family. Praise God. Let me see. Peter Tureen. I know that guy. Monks wrote in Latin. Latin does not have a W. No quills intended.
Yeah, that's rude, bro.
This is going to be the thing. This is going to be the thing. It happens all the time.
That was a threat, Ray.
We will cover important stories and talk to important people about all kinds of topics, life and death here on Guam. But you know what people are going to remember? W starts with a D, and it is a super consonant, not a vowel like its brother W or U. That's what people are going to. That's what people are going to come and see me. They're going to see me at the beach or someplace, and they're going to come up and go, "Hey, man, I heard you talking about the W thing. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. It should be a vowel, shouldn't it? I mean, it's just 2 U's. Anyway, 6:57 and change. I appreciate that and all the sentiments. Some of the other troublemakers on the YouTube side, I'm sure, will make themselves known as we make our way through the broadcast here this morning. Something you want to talk about as I constantly get at you. The phone number is 888-255-888-TALK. Oh, Larry. Oh, what? Okay, what kind of comment is this? Larry says it's only okay to make fun of Howleys because they aren't a protected class.
Wait, what?
I'm not sure.
That guy's triggering
I'm
my
not
white
sure
side,
what the content is on all of that. It's okay. So it's
we're 80%
never
white over here, bro.
It's
Watch your mouth.
Never okay to make fun of anybody's race or background.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not down for that.
It's just jokes.
They're just exactly. It's just jokes. If I've offended you, I'm sorry you're offended.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry I offended you. I'm just sorry that you're offended.
Softy.
But it is interesting, and in this diverse melting pot culture that we have here on Guam, as Andy Bumatai said years ago, as Frank De Lima still says today, it is funny to find certain things that certain people of certain backgrounds do that to the untamed and wild eye are funny. And so that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and that's the hill that I will die on. And there's also a First Amendment thing as well. But you got to admit, sometimes Hollies do funny things, right? Wear shoes in the house. What's that? What is that? Anyway, I got to break away. I got Fox News Live coming up in just a couple of minutes. No, a couple of seconds, actually. Donna D with news and headlines and all kinds of other crazy observations and more as the Ray Gibson Show continues. KUSG, got in your Pika's best. Here it comes, Fox News on the point.
The president hits the road. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Chants of USA at a high school in Georgia, as President Trump said this will never be a communist country.
Remember during the State of the Union, I said that this country will never be a socialist country, remember? And I was right. They skipped socialism. They went right to communism.
He accuses far-left Democrats of being communists. Democrats accuse him of making America less affordable. His Georgia event aimed at highlighting the Trump investment accounts for kids and Republican candidates in the state. The president traveling there from Dover Air Force Base in Delaware after the dignified transfer ceremony for 4 soldiers killed last weekend in the fighting with Iran, including First Lieutenant Tyler Feehan, whose family lives in Georgia. The president inviting his loved ones to travel back to the state on Air Force One today.
And they said, wow, this is something, thank you so much. But they're heartbroken, they're heartbroken. But they couldn't believe it.
He calls all of the fallen soldiers heroes and defends the effort to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Also warning today that the U.S. will hit a bridge or power plant anytime Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran threatening to hit similar targets in the region. Secretary of State Marco Rubio telling reporters,
"We remain open to diplomacy. We remain open to working it out in a negotiated way. But right now, they don't seem to be serious about that. And so we're going to continue to protect shipping." This
at a summit in the Philippines where he met with China's foreign minister as well. Tropical storm Bertha landing on the southern tip of Louisiana as it churns up the Gulf.
9-foot swells out here, 40-plus-mile-an-hour wind gusts here in Dolphin Island, which is just south of Mobile, Alabama.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray. Tropical storm force winds extending out 100 miles from the center of Bertha. Storm surge, the other main threat. America is listening to Fox News.
Guam, get ready. Wendy's Mandarin Chicken Salad is back. It's time to burst with flavor with the island's favorite salad. Fresh, flavorful, and island vibes in every bite. Made with mandarin oranges, crunchy almonds, crispy noodles, grilled chicken, and all tossed in that irresistible Asian sesame dressing. Don't miss the citrusy comeback everyone's been waiting for. Tangy, tasty, and totally refreshing, just the way you remember it. Swing by your nearest Wendy's location and grab your Mandarin Chicken Salad today.
Half a day and mabuhay. I'm Jesse Sky Suya Lujan. My dad, Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, is running for re-election. Guam is the place that made him who he is today. That's why he works so hard, because he wants to ensure the island is a better place long after he's gone. Please re-elect my dad this election. Si Diyos Maasi, maraming salamat po.
I'm Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
Ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro now has a trial date set for June 1st in New York City, where he and his wife made their latest appearance before a federal judge today, though the defense is still challenging their arrests on drug trafficking and narco-terrorism charges.
First, by claiming Maduro can't be charged because he has immunity as a head of state. Secondly, by arguing the U.S. military raid that brought Maduro to the U.S. was illegal. On January 3rd, President Trump ordered U.S. Special Forces to capture Maduro and his wife, the former First Lady Celia Flores, in the presidential palace in Caracas. Maduro has called himself a kidnapped president and a prisoner of war.
Fox's Brian Yennis at Manhattan Federal Court. The Trump administration says the raid was a law enforcement action against a suspect the U.S. did not recognize as a legitimate president. Hollywood in mourning for a young actress after a car accident.
Kelly Hoddle, the young deaf actress who starred in Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, has died. She was 18, according to TMZ. Her father, Joshua Hoddle, confirming Kaylee was killed in a car crash in Maryland Tuesday morning. He later shared a video to Facebook explaining the circumstances of his daughter's death in American Sign Language, captioning it, "I am taking a flight that I never would like to take." Joshua, in between deep sighs of grief and tears, says he learned Kaylee was in a serious accident and was told she died en route to a hospital. Kaylee and her parents are all deaf, with 4 generations of the family coming from the deaf community. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Stocks finished lower. The Dow down 6 points after the numbers settled following the close. The S&P and the NASDAQ also in the red, with U.S. oil prices topping $87 a barrel during the session. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Introducing the Loop Rewards Hub, helping you save where it matters. Activate, renew, or bundle your services and unlock exciting rewards designed to keep you connected. Enjoy one free service of your choice, such as home internet, cellular service, or a mobile hotspot. Plus, get free data roaming, 50 cents per gallon off of fuel at Shell, and 5% discount off accessories. Get in the loop and enjoy more savings for your everyday life. For details, visit any of our stores or chat online at ite.net. IT&E, connections that matter.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Burger King will be celebrating 37 years on Guam. We've been serving high-quality, great-tasting food. The Whopper, 100% fire-grilled beef, topped with creamy mayonnaise, fresh-cut lettuce and tomatoes, pickles, tangy ketchup, onions on a warm sesame seed bun. Top your meal with French fries, onion rings, or halfsies. Snack on our mozzarella fries, jalapeno bites, and everybody's favorite BK chicken fries. Whatever you crave, we've got you at Burger King, where you're the king. BK Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, Haggadah, and the airport. And thank you, Guam, for 37 great years.
Local news is brought to you by Triple J Tire Center. Need tires fast? Visit Triple J Tire Center with over 800 tire sizes in stock and Guam's only 24/7 roadside tire service. News this hour is also brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna De Jesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Benny Joshua Salas Nauta, a suspect in a fatal Jigo home invasion, faces new charges for stealing a generator. Nauta was charged in Superior Court with theft of property, conspiracy, and complicity. Court documents state that Nauta and Kenneth Ordelius stole a $980 generator from a Dedito residence on July 10 or 11, later selling it for $100 and 3 grams of meth. Nauta admitted to the theft during a police interview. He is already facing aggravated murder charges for the July 10th death of 72-year-old Jesus Valley and is held on a $1 million cash bail. Meanwhile, a defense analyst questions whether a long-range hypersonic weapon deployed to Guam actually contained a missile. Pacific Center for Island Security notes that the Dark Eagle system has faced severe manufacturing delays and quality defects. The group believes the launcher displayed during last month's Valiant Shield exercise likely carried no live payload, similar to a previous exercise in Australia. Army officials acknowledged production setbacks with contractor Lockheed Martin. Pacific Command confirmed the deployment photos were taken on Guam, but military spokesmen did not clarify whether the missile system remains on the island. More news after this.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
During KUAM's Decision 2026 gubernatorial forum, Democratic candidate Senator Therese Terlahi discussed her platform on healthcare by highlighting ongoing renovations that upgrade the current GMH into a maternal child health center. Running mate Senator Sabina Perez discussed solutions for declining student populations by proposing the development of magnet schools featuring specialized programs in STEM, the arts, and international studies. Perez further suggested that local businesses lease unused school spaces, which would expand student opportunities while providing real-world work experience. And GDOE has announced that all students will continue to receive free breakfast and lunch during the upcoming school year through the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Community Eligibility Provision. No application or paperwork is required as all enrolled students automatically qualify. GDOE Food and Nutrition Services Management Division Program Coordinator Renette Perez emphasized that school meals support student health, well-being, and academic achievement. GDOE also recently adopted Board Policy 705 to update its local school wellness policy and align district food standards with current nutrition guidelines. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Well, thank you very much. You're 10 after 7 o'clock in the morning, and the visual for weather here this morning comes from Alicia Duenas Anderson, and an interesting view of First Beach. There's a halo around the sun as it's making its way up the sky here this morning, and maybe more evidence that we might be in for some of those scattered showers.
Love those
mainly,
Samsung pictures.
mainly after what's that?
I said I love those Samsung pictures.
Yes. You can see the tweaker laying on the beach from the night before. Anyway, partly sunny with highs near 87 degrees in the forecast for today. Tonight, mostly cloudy with overnight lows of about 76 degrees. For tomorrow, which is Friday, by the way, for those of you that are lost track of where we are in the week, tomorrow is Friday. Scattered showers, mainly afternoon tomorrow as well. Partly sunny with highs near 88 degrees, just like today. In the forecast for Saturday, mostly sunny, highs near 88 degrees. Might be some isolated showers that are going to be falling down in the sky. With the heat index, it'll feel like 92 today. 30% chance of rain. Sunrise, as I said, 6:03 this morning. And sunset tonight should be about 6:51. Hashtag tell the others. There it is, news and weather together here on 93.3. This is The Point.
Who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge, because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet, and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
Looking for a school that brings out the absolute best in your child? Welcome to Mount Carmel Academy Charter School, where our students are winning big across the island. We're celebrating our island-wide science fair winners, our Chamorro language competition champions, and the incredible rhythm of our Mount Carmel Phoenix stage band. Plus, we are competing on the mats with our spectacular gold medal winning martial arts performances. Combined with our championship boys and girls sports programs, we teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership every single day. From academics and culture to music and athletics, we celebrate 69 years of educating the complete child. Enrollment is completely tuition-free. Call Mount Carmel today at 565-5128.
Will do. 712. Ray Gibson Show. Portions brought to you by the guys over at APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, Guam Regional Medical City. They are your healthcare partner. And did I say it was 712? You know what? I think that's Brie time.
This time check is brought to you by Senator Sabrina Salas Matanani. GMH is finally getting fixed. That's not a dream, that's a reality. Re-elect Senator Bree, number 12, Republican.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
7:13, phone's ringing. We'll get it in a second, but I wanted to read aloud to you a statement from the President of the United States of America on the occasion of Guam's 82nd liberation. Today, our nation marks the 82nd anniversary of the American liberation of Guam, the day the United States shattered a brutal occupation and carried freedom back to an island that had endured more than 2 years of suffering under Imperial Japan. That hard-won triumph stands among the defining victories of the Second World War and endures as a testament to the courage and the indomitable spirit of the United States Armed Forces. There's a couple of paragraphs of blah, 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 but I want to go to the last paragraph of the statement at the White House. And hopefully I'm not the only guy that's going to be talking about presidential awareness and acknowledgement of our 82nd liberation anniversary. On this day, we honor the resilience, unity, and rich heritage of the people of Guam. Yes, they used the R word there too. And we pay solemn tribute to the men of the greatest generation whose gallantry and supreme sacrifice assured Guam's rebirth of liberty. This beautiful island territory bore witness to one of the most glorious victories of the Second World War, and it remains indispensable to the projection of American power across the Pacific. Let me repeat that. It remains indispensable to the projection of American power across the Pacific and to the defense of our allies and our great republic. Under my leadership, the freedom won upon that sacred ground will always be defended. The sacrifice of those who secured it will forever be honored, and the United States will stand tall and unyielding as the greatest and most powerful force for freedom the world has ever known. I got to get my voice up high. I got to hit that soaring note here.
Indispensable?
Indomitable.
That's like when they told Rambo you're not expendable.
They drew first blood. And so I hope a communication along these lines has been made to our legislature and our governor's office, because I think it's pretty cool that the president of the United States of America prepared, or somebody had prepared for him, a statement on the occasion of our 82nd anniversary. Tattoo Sean Gumatauta from the 38th Guam legislature on the line. Unfortunately, he didn't say anything that would reaffirm some of the shivering and the what is it, quaking that people are doing here with regard to our apparently delicate citizenship. Good morning, Shawnee. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Ray, and good morning, everyone listening this morning. And, you know, when you listen to that message or you hear that message from the president, it is in line with the America's celebration of the 250th anniversary of its founding, and it seems to be a theme all across the country. We just needed it to be here too, and so again, I'm appreciative of the president's message for liberation.
As am I. Noting that, and it's not. I mean, there were a lot of incredible battles that took place in the island hopping campaign and the waning days of the war here, and especially the liberation of Guam. But as for us, a monumental. But they don't make a whole lot of movies and documentaries and TV shows about the battle for Guam, and I'm currently in the midst of reading a book called Guam, The Battle for Guam, which underscores a lot of these moments. I mean, the guy dug out all kinds of historical footnotes, records, and things like that that told the story basically of what had happened after Saipan and then leading up to the liberation of Guam and up to and including, you know, the recapture of the island, et cetera. But there's all of these small little moments, frogmen from back in the day that needed to investigate where the best places were, where the best channels were for some of this landing craft, for them to get in there, for other guerrillas that needed to get to the island, to begin the process. And as I said, it's kind of amazing because a lot of these stories might be lost to history if we don't repeat them or if we don't start looking for them. 7:17 in the morning, and I'm crediting you for maybe the most sober response to the conversation about birthright citizenship from anybody that I've seen that has put out a release recently. So thank you very much for being a little bit more clear-minded in your response.
Well, I think on behalf of this party, and it wasn't one of those things where Ray is, okay, trust me, the emails from journalists and calls were coming in or WhatsApps, but I wanted to take the time to try to understand what was happening on Capitol Hill. So it wasn't I think over time I've learned that, hey, let's start talking to people, trying to understand that process, where it's at, not just across the Congress, but also to my friends in the Republican Party in the state of Virginia to understand a little bit more about Congressman Griffiths and the issues that are facing him and his district. So for us, it's very simple for us, and I think with all the things that are happening on Guam, Ray, quite frankly, the cost of living is front and center for everyone. It should be. We need to make sure that government trust and accountability is something that we need to try to get a hold of.
Oh, I was going to ask you about session. I was going to ask you about session today later.
That when it comes to these types of statements and issues, to make one, I think there's something else on the backside of it. I can't confirm it, but it's like, hey guys, the focus should be what's happening here, The congressman has some work to do, and I think Jim Moylan is doing his part on the Hill. We'll let him continue to do that work specific to this, as well as the other delegates to Puerto Rico, USVI, and CNMI. We'll let them do their job. That's the role that they have in Congress. And when it's time for us to chime in, if we do chime in, because Ray, I think this is, for the most part, from what I'm hearing, leadership of the Congress is just not behind this.
They're perhaps not this measure, and I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's just the way that it came out. Didn't talk to us. I'm not sure if he talked to anybody else in the House, and whether or not this was well received. There's no co-sponsors.
So no, he talked to no one, and that's what's so, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean that may doom it.
Idea of being, talking about how this is concerning, and one person thought, "Oh, this might be a great idea." To whom?
Well, so in part of the, and I lots of different minds that you can have on this. One of them is America first, and the idea that there are people that are timing their birth, that are timing the geography of their birth, so that they might be in the United States of America when the baby pops out, thus making that baby an American citizen, and not even an unbounded American citizen. There's no qualifications. Is an American citizen, can work here, can reside here, can vote here, can start a business, can join the service, maybe even run for president of the United States of America. But the fact that they snuck them into citizenship that way, I think is the horns of the dilemma. And now trying to figure out how to undo that in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling, the Trump versus Barber ruling, I think is someplace where I think many senatorial and representative heads are in Washington, D.C.
Sure.
This first draft over.
Right. No, but Ray, I mean, we think about the situation maybe here, but just think about our friends in the USVI and in Puerto Rico in terms of those that might be coming up from Central and South America up through those areas. Think about those guys a second, and the situation that we're facing out here in our region. This is such a we're a little bit far away. It probably may be low-hanging fruit to some people, but the problem in America about this idea of it is pretty big, and only one group that can really solve this, and that's Congress.
Yes, and they can do it administratively by chipping away at certain things. But I'm sorry, I don't feel like my citizenship is endangered. I don't feel like my daughter's citizenship is endangered. I don't feel like if I were to have another child, that baby's citizenship would be questionable.
You're spot on this morning, and I think that this is a national issue, but overbroad in the sense that the congressman probably just didn't really think this all the way through. And I think it's some other stuff, and I got to go.
Guam's going to flip over. Is this not the same Guam that's going to flip over, guys? It's a different dude, right?
Yeah, that's another congressman. Yeah, absolutely.
Just
He's from Georgia, by the way.
What's that?
So, that congressman from Georgia. Oh.
Yes. I don't know. I think some of the reaction, and I don't know. And you've been a journalist before. You've been somebody that has dealt around things like that. I'm just feeling like some of the response has been overblown. It is if all of a sudden the door is open to question the veracity and the right to citizenship for people in the territories.
Again, there's some other issues front, probably on the Hill somewhere. Folks trying to take advantage. That's fine, but again, I think the House leadership that I am aware of is pretty much not supporting this. So, and that's encouraging.
Okay.
And I think that the delegates are really, really upset right now. And we'll have more talks with the congressman.
That's my understanding. Is it mostly because they weren't brought into the tent for the conversation. Didn't get into the negotiations and say, excuse me, let me tell you how this is going to be perceived on Guam if you're not careful, how it's going to be perceived in the other territories if you're not careful. And because of that maybe lack of care or an urgency to move forward with the documentation without talking to anybody, they've stepped in a puddle that is several territories wide and now has incurred the wrath of people. And unfortunately, that that haven't read the document. I appreciate you sending me a copy of it because I'm looking at it going, this does not equal all of the hair on fire responses that I'm getting from some of your colleagues and other representatives here on Guam, Shawnee. So as I say,
I totally agree, and I think that again, taking the time just to kind of understand what's in front of us, and on behalf of the party, we feel, and there's other bigger issues to address in our community and address nationally. And right now, I mean, at least this one little blip on a national issue that was said a couple different times does not mean that the entire threat to our way of life is. There's over 2 million U.S. citizens across the territories or so, plus, right? And so we need to be mindful of the impacts. And I think the congressman from Southern Virginia is probably getting a lot of different input from the leadership, which I think the input is not what he expected from a bill like this.
Yeah, I'm with the vice speaker on it. Let's hope he takes us up on our invitation to come out and hang out on Guam. We'll go hang out over at the beaches. Taking to God's country, Telefofo.
Yeah,
right?
no, for sure. And I think,
go hiking down there. Let's do some river walks.
Right. I think just to see what's going on here, and the like. So yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Take them by the gas station and show them the $5 and 93 cent a gallon gas.
Yeah. Maybe the gas prices in Southern Virginia.
Yeah.
Are a little bit better.
Let's explain to him what the LEAC is. Maybe a couple of minutes going over the Jones Act and how what the impact of the Jones Act is on territories and even non-connected states.
Right. And that we don't have a border. We're surrounded by water. He's got 3 states bordering his southern district alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of things that could be learned from a little visit to our part of the world.
7:25. Sean Gumatauta on the line. Sean, about 10 o'clock this morning, you guys are going into a session to talk about the measure that was sent down by Governor Lulian Guerrero, urgently looking for some dough. Even though your colleagues, the Speaker of the Legislature and Chris Duenas, have said the governor, all she needs to do is click her heels 3 times together. There's money. You can transfer stuff. You got all kinds of lapse money that you don't need anybody over at the legislature to tell you what to do with it. But
3 months to go. You know what? There's a lot of considerations. She's got 3 months in this fiscal year. I'm hopeful that she will just do exactly that. I mean, this wouldn't be the first time she transferred money. I think we've all been watching, but she's never reported it. So how do piles of debris from Sinlaku end up in somewhere else in time, just in time for another storm? And that was not a cheap bill. So I'm a little like, okay, so how did you do that? Governor, how did you do a lot of the things over the last 18 months without reporting it back to the legislature? I can go on and on.
Well, you don't need to. I think this might be one of those days where I've actually got an earpiece in my ear listening to what's going on in the session, because my understanding is that you guys are calling in and have notified all of the agencies that are listed in this bailout opportunity to show up at the legislature. Bring your receipts. We want to see what's going on with money in your place and why you now at the very last minute in this fiscal year are coming to us to get a bailout.
Again, Ray, I mean, she's got 3 months. She's got 50% transfer authority of the entire $1.4 billion budget. Please tell me that from a cash management point of view, that the governor of Guam cannot move money, little pieces to save the airport. And we're still in the middle of a recovery effort from a storm. And by the way, because child care centers are not getting paid from the feds, that right now she's trying to front load. How many businesses does that affect? 24? 26 businesses that we're trying to push an entire government towards. I think that the governor can do that right now. She doesn't need us. She can actually transfer the money right now.
Right. Well, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about the nature of that issue. It's not the first time that there has been slow payments coming out of that block grant fund, but in years past, that was maybe because a little bit of a jostling of the money here locally once it got into the hands of the government of Guam and the Department of Administration. Again, years past. Is that still the case now? What's the nature of the slowdown in Washington, D.C.? What's the nature of an expected time of reconnection to the funds? And I'm just not hearing about any of that stuff. In fact, I'm at a conference call. I hope you don't mind, Sean. I've got a Robert on the line, and he is likewise concerned about the child care issue here on Guam that is going to be addressed over at the legislature. Robert, I hope you don't mind me conferencing. You're on with Sean Gumatauta. I think that would just make it that much more of an intelligent conversation. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, of course. Hi, Day. My name is Robert Suberon. I'm actually one of the childcare owners, daycare owners. I own both Chrysalis Childcare 1 in the Tumuning location, as well as the NCS location, Chrysalis Childcare 2. So, yes, I just wanted to, add on top of the concerns that we've been having regarding our block grant payments and whatnot. But usually it starts with, last delay, they mentioned to us that it's because there was funding from the federal side, right? But before that, they said that it was something wrong with the system. So, regardless of the last delays, there was always an excuse that they came up with. But right now, when they did mention that they did pay the $5 million to us, it wasn't released until almost after 2 weeks, a little after 2 weeks later. So from then, since I'm one of the daycare owners, we have to front that bill, right? Yep. So for that 2-3 months that we didn't get paid, we had to scramble to figure out how to make paychecks. Because if you think about it, if you don't receive, just say 6, if you don't get your paycheck this week, imagine another times that by 6. So I don't know how.
Well, I'm sure you had to pay the rent and the utilities as well.
Absolutely correct. Yes. So that, we have to scramble and try to figure out how we could make payment and whatnot. But that would be like just telling your employees, saying, hey, can you not get paid for 6 weeks and the government will figure it out, right? Unfortunately, we don't have that option because, like you mentioned, we still have to pay bills. We can't tell GPA that, just wait for us to get paid, or we can't just tell our parents. But the thing is, my employees, they've been very supportive. Our parents have been very supportive. Actually, I believe later on at 10 o'clock at the legislative building, they're going to be talking about it also. So I wanted to see I just wanted to raise awareness also to if they're able to come over and support. I mean, a few of my employees as well as other daycare owners will be there to support, to voice their concerns, because this has been an ongoing problem for a while. And we're trying to figure out how as an organization, because I'm in a Guam childhood organization, and we're trying to see what we can do to work with our senators and work with our governor to see if we could have a permanent solution.
Undo some regulation, because there's specific numbers of children you can have per caregiver. It used to be a whole lot more. It used to be a caregiver could watch, 20, 30 kids. But anymore, they changed that law about 15 years ago. And now there's specific numbers of students per caregiver, and that adds to the cost of running the daycare.
Correct. So that's correct. And the thing is, right now, since block grant has been reduced a lot since January, the cost to run it is even less than what it's even less than what they're giving us. So, like you were mentioning, there are ratios, right? For our infants, it's a 1-to-4 ratio. So we cannot exceed that one. So we have to have 2 employees, anything past 4 infants. So if you think about paying a minimum employee $10 an hour, if they're working full time, that's $1,600 a month. And imagine for each infant, you're only getting like $700.
You're upside down.
So that doesn't even that's barely even covering anything. So it's hard for anyone to want to. Setting rules like that upon us hurts us. But I do understand where they're coming from, because of course you want safety, but at the same time, they don't understand how it takes to run a business.
Yeah, I remember when it was a big deal. My family's been in the caregiving business in the past, and I saw that legislation, and I thought it's a solution out looking for a problem, because I don't think our daycares had any issues with safety and the quality of the care that was provided at the time. 7:32. You're not going to believe this, Sean. I'll give you an opportunity to make some comments in a second, but I want to bring in your colleague. We're in session here, the Ray Gibson's legislature, and Senator. What's that?
Do we have quorum now?
We have quorum. I've got a Senator Chris on the line.
All
but
right.
Which Chris is it?
Senator Chris Duenas, of course.
Chris Duenas. Okay. So Robert, it's good for you. You picked a great time to call in. You got a couple of the leadership members of the majority at the legislature here. They're listening, and so if you've got anything else you want to contribute, by all means, stand by. I'll give you a chance to do that. I did want to hear from Senator Chris Duenas as we make our way through the conversation. Senator?
Hey, Robert, thanks for calling. And yeah, please come down and please watch the legislature in action. We've gotten even updated messages that reimbursements are coming in, I believe, stronger at this point. And, Robert, if this reminds me also of Department of Education when the spigot was turned off early in this term. And Department of Education also came forward and said, hey, we need an appropriation for $30 million to be able to keep going with our reimbursements. And, we said to them, hey, let's hang on a little bit and use some of the funding that you have and then see what happens. And automatically the next week, the spigot was turned on and they constantly had the funding. Robert, this government has a lot of money. This governor has a lot of money and could easily cover this with the money that she has. And so the most important thing is you should not be in a position of not getting paid for that period of time. They should pay and then come to the legislature when they know that effectively the program no longer exists. But this program is in existence. It's getting reimbursed, and it's starting to get reimbursed at a higher rate. So, Robert, I'm sorry you had to go through that. But that should not have happened to you and your business.
Yes. And they didn't mention it's been happening for a while. The thing is, I'm working right now with our child care organization group to see if we can find a more permanent solution, because right now because it got really loud and they were able to do something right now. We don't know when payment's going to happen again, right? And more than likely, it's keep us quiet until after election, right? So right now, because they did pay us, it's what's next, right? So there's actually a whole bunch of us right now trying to get together to see if we could work with someone who's willing to. So I actually shot out emails to all the senators to try to see if there's anybody who's willing to work with us, because we're creating an open letter for interest, because there's a lot of issues right now that's happening with child care services, right? It's not only just the delay of payments, but it's also there's a few things. There's the delay of payments. There's also how much we're getting paid, and there's also the difficulties or the red line it takes to open a daycare in order for us to want to service these people. Because when I had to open my daycare, it took me literally 9 months to open, and all I had to do was install a sink. It took us 2 days to install a sink, but it took 9 months for clearances from environmental health and public health and public works and all of that. So,
Robert, that's an old song. That's an oldie but a goodie.
And this is what we've been saying about the structural policy changes in the operation of this government, Robert. This is what many of us on the majority side have been saying needs to change. And the reality is, in terms of your payment schedule and what's happening, that's not a money problem. We don't need to be called into session to make an appropriation when the administration has the money. What we need is proper communication from public health to sit down with us and say, look, we have a structural issue on the federal side now. The reimbursements aren't steady. Work with our congressmen, work with the national government, find out what's going on. In the meantime, if we need to have bridge financing that already the administration has, they can do that and say, subject to an appropriation going forward, if the structure of these programs change. Because, this might happen with a lot of different programs, Robert, and the government needs to then find out what its priority is, because there's only so much taxpayer money to go around, right? So, of course, this is a top priority, and the reality is, if that's the case, then we need to find out what else is not necessarily the equal priority and make that funding available. But what you're talking about, Robert, right now is the structural inefficiency of government and not necessarily a funding issue. But thank you for calling.
Yeah. Also, if I can, Robert, too, and it goes back to what Senator Duenas was mentioning. I think we're talking about funding here. But some of the other things I'm hearing is about the administration of the child care program in totality. That there's people inside the system that continue to either underperform, unable to execute the laws of Guam, and then puts it back onto folks like yourself saying, well, it's not my fault, there's just not enough money. But what's happening is, and I think maybe we could consider oversight into the child care system itself. Because, quite frankly, there's problems, but it's not money. It's really, as the Senator Duenas mentioned, it's their ability, or perhaps maybe their inability to execute on the policies that are set forth by the legislature and the federal government.
Well, we still got to answer the question on what the nature is of the slowdown in the states. These are broad freezes, policy shifts that are going on there, and so we've got to have a long-term plan for this for the children, obviously, but for the parents. I mean, if you're a parent of a couple of kids of a certain age and you don't have grandma's house to drop the kids off at, you got to go to the daycare to get it done, and you can't afford that. That means that the two earners in the family, somebody's got to stay home and watch kids until the other one comes home. Then they can watch the kids while somebody goes back to work over at the Tendineni or something like that. I mean, it's a real hardship for the families that are in these programs right now. So the broad strokes that we're coloring in today, we need to drill down into some details and figure out how to create this safety net. And if we're not going to get this federal money ever again, or if it is going to shift into a much lower amount, then we've got to be prepared for that for our working families as well.
Sure.
My thoughts. Anyway, Chris, you all done?
Well, I am, and that's exactly why now you can see why we're doing what we're doing, right, Ray? And there's been some pushback. I think they're not happy about it at the front, but this is exactly why we're doing this. We can't just go in there and write a check when we know right now there's specific programmatic issues internally, and there's also the ability to cover these things and then come down and talk to us, maybe either do an oversight or a roundtable to say, let's put this on the table in the balance of the totality of what we have, to deal with in this situation. So stay tuned, come down, Robert, and join us. Yeah. We got a full panel, and we'll be doing this probably for over a week. It's going to take that.
Awesome. Yes, I'll be there later with a few of my friends.
Shoot. Bring some of the kids.
You, Robert. Have a great day.
Bring some of the working moms.
Sorry, Chairman, take over.
So I can go to work here from Telephone.
Hey, okay, yeah, you guys. Okay, so gavel out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody stick around. Robert, thanks again for the telephone call. Very, very timely.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Shoot. That's it's 7:40 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Sorry, that was just going to be a conversation with Sean about birthright citizenship.
Dude, you probably saved some babies, Ray.
Well, I knew we were going to morph into something else because session at the legislature, and I think this is going to be one of those things where Adelup is going to be. What do they say? Don't wish too hard for what you want because you just might get it. And they came over and said, all right, we're going to need all kinds of dough from out of the legislature. To which members of the legislature have said, what? Well, you need to come to us for money. Well, you guys are always talking about how hunky-dory everything is in the government and, investment grade and all of this other stuff. And you're coming after us for basically nickel and dimes that you've got under the couch at the governor's office. So now you're getting called in, and everybody's going to get called in, and you better bring the receipts and don't do one of those. I didn't know you were going to ask me that question. Can I circle back to you? I don't think circling back is going to be an option. I think their expectations and their appetite for hearing I'll circle back and get that to you a little bit later on is probably going to be minimal. 20 away from the top of the hour. We got news and headlines here. A little bit late for it. Hope you don't mind. A little bit late for news and headlines. Being brought to you by Burger King. Pika's Best in a lot of different categories. Thank you for the nominating votes. And they'll be asking for your regular votes for Pika's Best before too much longer. Same thing with the guys over at Hoffaday Realty. Joe Don, Saran, Libby, Auntie Loli, and a whole bunch of other people, real estate professionals. And they see what's going on out there in the streets these days. And that might be opportunities for you if you are renting or if you are buying. So check them out, Hoffaday Realty at gmail.com. At 7:42, here's news and headlines with Donna D. Donna?
Sorry. An adult male pedestrian died yesterday afternoon after being struck by a vehicle in the parking lot of the House of Chin Fee restaurant in Anigua. Guam Fire Department personnel responded at 2 o'clock, but paramedics terminated CPR due to the severity of the injuries. GPD is investigating the fatal crash involving an 18-wheel truck. Meanwhile, Guam and CNMI officials are joining Philippine officials to petition the federal government for a visa waiver for Philippine tourists. Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, local lawmakers, and Philippine Deputy Commissioner Joel Alejandro Naknak are participating in a working session. The proposed program would permit short-term visits of up to 45 days, limited to Guam and the CNMI, to help revive the local tourism industry. And Guam rails and kingfishers at the Department of Agriculture survived Super Typhoon Bobby safely without sanctuary damage, but potential federal funding cuts threaten future conservation efforts. The Trump administration has proposed cutting endangered species funding by over $100 million. Although Guam has not received official notice of impact, agriculture programs rely entirely on federal grants and are exploring local funding alternatives. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Okay. It's 7:43 on the Ray Gibson Show, and you've got some good news in there. Well, it's a mixed bag of news. Somebody died, got hit by a 18-wheeler. That's the stuff. I don't know. That is the stuff of nightmares. I tell you what. And so condolences to him and his families. But happy news here. Stephen Blake,
real guy.
Chris, the dog, was found.
Oh, awesome.
Gone Home Depot. Ladies recognized him from Facebook, made a phone call, and got Chris back into Stephen Blake's hands.
Oh, that's his dog?
Yes, that was his dog.
What the heck, Steve? Why you name your dog Chris?
No, so he answers that. He's got an answer for us.
All right.
Chris was originally adopted on Christmas.
Aww.
Tim's daughter named him Christmas, but they just shortened it to Chris. So it's still kind of a people name. But now it's named after Christmas, the holiday. What a sweet story! And so glad to have the dog home. And I don't know, Chip, go home. It's about time. I'd normally do right about now a blurb for Beyond the Box over at the Micronesia Mall, and they've got all kinds of stuff there. But I'm going to send you, in particular, right now. I will send you to Beyond the Box so that you can get your hands on one of those air tags and put that in the doggy collar, and going to make it a whole lot easier to find if something happens and they get lost. Now, while you're buying your packet of air tags, just buy as many as you can afford. They've also got a new shipment from the Apple company, AirPods Pro 3s. And I'm going to do a look up here. I think I've got AirPods, whatever, Pro something ones. But we're up to AirPods Pro 3s. I love the set that I have right now. It's even gone through the laundry and still works. The telephone calls are great. Audio sounds fantastic. They've also got the AirPods Max 2s. All right, so I'm just gonna say, if you're a hottie at the gym, you need to have these headphones on. Because it's part of the look. You got to have the big poofy headphones on, and you can only get the AirPods Max right now. Great price over at Beyond the Box. And MacBook Airs. They've got some new M5s and AI built in, light enough to work from anywhere. The new MacBook Air waiting for you over at Beyond the Box. And AirTags for Christmas the dog. It's 7:46. Be right back.
This past year, we've been focused on moving Guam forward, strengthening oversight in our schools, supporting our veterans, standing up for students and families, and working on policies that open doors for our people. For me, public service has never been about headlines. It's about showing up, listening carefully, and doing the work that matters. There's still more to accomplish, and I'm ready to keep pushing ahead. I'm Senator Vince Borja, and I humbly ask for your continued support.
My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
APL, global presence with a local home. APL is a U.S. flag shipping company, delivering from the U.S., Asia, and Europe with weekly arrivals to Guam and Saipan. Our local Guam team is committed to serving all your logistical needs. Call us at 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
I'm Sabrina Salas-Matznani, and I approve this message.
Some people run for office for recognition and personal agendas, and there are those like Senator Sabrina Salas-Matznani. Bree doesn't seek the limelight, and her only agenda is us. Bree continues to battle on our behalf, championing the needs of GMH, advocating for Guam's veterans, and bringing cannabis another step closer to becoming an industry. Bree elects Senator Sabrina Salas-Matznani, number 12 on the Republican ballot. Bree, the difference.
I'm all confused here. It's not Stephen Blake's dog. Okay, so here's the thing. It was Stephen Blake posted and sent into the meme machine. He sent in the Facebook thing. So I thought it was his dog.
His dog, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Because it doesn't say, I'm posting this for my friend.
That's right.
Chuck. It's
Come on,
Chuck's
man.
dog.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck Hazard.
Oh, Chuck
yes,
Hazard.
yes. Okay,
Glad you
so
found your dog, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Hazard. I'm all turned around here. It's
That
not
must have been
Steve's dog.
rough.
I am Hazard. Tim works for me. He is the owner of Chris. It's Tim's dog.
So who's working for who?
I don't
They're
know
working
what
for the dog.
No citizenship for anybody. We're taking it. We're taking it back, you Chamorans. 7:48 on the Ray Gibson Show. Portions being brought to you. Oh, never mind that. I got to get into the traffic. That's what's going on in the background. Crazy kind of Thursday morning. Lots going on and a little bit of traffic at some of the usual spots here. Definitely on Route 3, trying to get to Marine Corps Drive off of General Ben Blas Highway. Nothing major. Pow and some of the other intersections up in the main day-to-do area are running free and clear right now. Tiny bit of traffic southbound at the Micronesia Mall intersection. If you're heading through Tamuning and Harmon Industrial Park, Upper Tumon, etc., you should only have just a little bit of intersection traffic to get through in the usual spots. But if you're going to 8, 10, and 16, a little bit of traffic on the at the actual intersection. Hard to tell by the map on where things are slowing down, but it's not crazy slow down either. Central lanes are all open, nothing major on 4 and 8 and 10, and then southbound from downtown to getting you through Adelup into Petey and all the way down to Big Navy and Sumai. Looking actually pretty good right about now. In 10 minutes, it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll be right back.
It's Triple J Tire Center sizzling summer deals going on now. Get the best deals of the summer with the lowest prices on top brands like Continental, General Tire, Yokohama, Kumo, Omni, and Triangle. Over 800 sizes in stock. Buy 3, get 1 free deal plus 20% off, or buy 2 tires and get 15% off on all passenger and light truck tire purchases. Call 649-TIRE or visit behind the ITC building in Tamuning. Guam's fastest tire service and the only 24/7 tire emergency roadside service. Special orders available. Triple J Tire Center. Customers first.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Picanel Road in Tamuning, call Johnstone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with Johnstone Supply.
I need a genealogist. I need a dog genealogist. That's what I'm looking for right now. Yes, okay, it's Tim's dog, says Chuck. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Piece of interesting advice here from Jerome McDowell says, thank goodness Blake got his dog Chris back. Tim got Chris back. Luckily, the dog was not barbecued. As a Shih Tzu owner, I'm here to tell you that they, given the amount of care they require. But I think they might actually be tasty.
Sticker burrs.
But no, it's there's you ever see a Shih Tzu after it's gone a couple of weeks without going to the
it's a hot mess.
Yes. And then they come back.
They're high maintenance, bro.
Looking like they found Jesus and quit drinking. Where was I? 7:51 and change. Portions of the broadcast made possible by our friends over at where's this? Take Care. Beer Pike.
Real Talk Radio is back. Welcome to The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
I got it. It's a dog lover show, ladies and gentlemen. Dog lover show. We're all happy that. How did Jose Martinez say it?
Good segue.
Christmas, Christ Jesus found at Home Depot. Gonna get that holy feeling the next time I go in there, get myself a panel for my EcoFlow. Where was I? All right, 8 minutes away from the top of the hour, and it's been Republican hour here so far. Senator Chris Duenas joining Tatu Sean Gumatautau in a conference call with a guy named Robert. Robert runs a daycare, and I'm old enough to remember when daycares were cheap. In fact, I'm old enough to remember some of the first faces I ever remembering was at Oka when I was a kid, and I had a couple of classmates, a couple of pretty girls. Donna and Tina Munya. They were the first twins I ever knew in my life, and a guy that eventually went on to become one of my best friends. I don't know if he'd say that, but certainly one of my best friends. And this is me just disclosing Senator Frank Blas Jr. and I and Tina and Donna and others from around 1962 were all classmates together over at Oka Daycare. Hey, it's nap time, bro. I still nap because sister told me.
So you still know you're part of you're singing part in Edelweiss, right?
Edelweiss, yes, our song, our song. I was pondering that this morning as I was thinking about the Guam hymn in English, and I didn't know it was "and sing her praise." I thought it was just one word, "and sing." It was "and sing." It was "and sing her praise." I don't know. Anyway, so Senator Frank Bloss Jr., the Speaker of the Legislature, online with me this morning. What time is Mass this weekend?
What time is Mass this weekend?
I was told I'm supposed to show up in Barragata for church.
That's next weekend.
Oh, next weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
I got a whole weekend to be sinner.
Yes.
Right on. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that then next week. At any rate, a couple of things here. I'm going to start this about the same way I started with Sean Gumatautau as the ranking glorious leader of the Republican Party of Guam, and was appreciative of his kind of sober and not hair on fire view of this birthright citizenship controversy that I think people's interpretations has gotten out of control. You and I haven't had a chance to talk about it, but you're usually the calmest, steadiest hand in the room. So I kind of wanted to get your interpretation of this HR 9724.
Well, first off, you're right. The way news gets around today, you got to be very careful as to how even the news interprets it. Unfortunately, they're in the business of trying to interpret it and then put their spin on what a story is, so that when it gets to you, it may be a little skewed. And so you got to drop away, get away, and what is the root of the issue, and what are they really intending to do?
Mm-hmm.
Now, based on the news reports and how some people have opinionated and interpreted what this thing is my concern is the method of which they're trying to be able to do this, and referencing in the insular cases, and it's, I don't, for lack of a better term, is rearing its ugly head, it calls that we need to be able to have a discussion on what the intent is, and in this case, what the consequences will be, or do you intend these consequences to occur? And what are the remedies? What are the ways to be able to address this without even go that far-reaching?
Plebiscite.
And if you want to be able to use again an antiquated law, granted it is a law, and back in its day, the interpretations and the reason why it was put together was people didn't know better. And so, like many of the laws that we have, not in our books, both in Congress and in the legislature, we need to be able to review it to see how it fits in modern times. And in this case, this calls for, and for me, it's like, hey, let's look at these cases of which you're referencing to, and does it have meaning? And does that and really. Do we need to be able to continue to live under those rules, under those laws?
Well, let's have a plebiscite. All of a sudden, notwithstanding the occasional member of our own government with taxpayer expenses goes and talks smack about the United States of America over at the UN, it seems to me there is a groundswell of support now for the maintenance, certainly, of status quo, but maybe even for a longer-lasting, more meaningful, more permanent relationship with the federal government. I think now would be a good time to start talking about putting a plebiscite on self-determination right there on the ballot for the general election.
I think for me, Ray, we've gone through that exercise, and this is supposed to be a negotiation, if you will. And so the question is never asked, and I think we should ask it. And I have asked it. Well, what do you want of us? How do you want us to fit in this fabric called this American family? Are we a part of this family? What do you want? What do you want us to? How would you like for us to fit there? And let's see, because let's the truth be told, we have a plebiscite and we say we want to go one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go back to the same body. Says no, we don't like it. Take it back and do it again. No, then what is it that you like? What is it that you like?
Well, they like the Organic Act. They like the Organic Act, and this is a solution that Bob Klitsky had proposed the idea of patriating the Organic Act. Send that back to Congress. Tell them that we want that to be our constitution here, pending another constitution. And once we've gotten that, then we can make changes to the Organic Act ourselves without having to go back to Congress and get their blessing every time we want to change a word here or a letter there or strike in some new part of our government or judicial system.
Yeah, but it goes back to asking because we never asked that asked that question. We never said, okay, so how do you want us to advance, or do you want us to advance? Okay, right now they're saying, well, we're waiting for you to say something. Well, you know what? Okay, what say do you have? What do you want to see? And let's work from there.
Well, again, based on the headlines and the reaction that we've seen in the last 48 hours to a measure that only hinted at the edges that Congress can turn on and off citizenship like a light switch. It only hinted at that at the edges of the conversation, and now all of a sudden it seems like everybody that's got any activist blood in them at all is saying, no, you can't do that to us. We've had wars. We're liberated by Marines, all of that stuff. We got people in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, and see our contributions and our patriotism and our pride in being American citizens, and we don't want that jerked around with. Seems to me that's our sign, Senator.
No, sure, but one of the things I've asked people.
Now we got to wrap up. Go walk the dog.
Find the person who wrote that legislation. Find out. And when did he graduate? Just recently?
I'll take a look while the news is playing. I got to break away. Hugging a kiss to Tilly. I'll see you soon, Brett.
Okay, but take care.
Bye.
Talking economic policy. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. That was one of the key themes of President Trump's speech during a speech in a key swing state.
The president put affordability in focus during an event in Marietta, Georgia.
2 years ago, our country was dead, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world, respected by everybody all over the world.
President Trump concedes energy prices are up as a result of military strikes against Iran, but says inflation is falling.
And this is despite this. It's going on. The stock market has hit 73 all-time highs since the election. Think of that.
The cost of living is the top issue for voters, according to Fox polling, and support for President Trump's handling of the economy has fallen 13 points since March.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. On Iran, the president said they continue to get hit hard.
They want to make a deal, but I say they're not ready to make a deal. Because every time they make a deal, they want to change it and everything. They're not ready. They'll be ready very soon.
This coming even as the U.S. and Iran continue to exchange fire. The president traveled to Georgia after attending the dignified transfer of 4 soldiers killed last weekend in the Iran conflict.
I've been there many times before. This was in particular something very sad.
The president invited the family of Lieutenant Tyler Feehan, who was from Georgia, to travel back from Delaware there with him on Air Force One. By a vote of 216 to 214, all Democrats opposing, the House has adopted a $95 billion budget proposal that would fund the Iran conflict and other White House priorities. But Republicans were divided over the plan, conservatives expressing concerns because there's no spending cuts to offset the cost. Wall Street, the Dow lost 6 points, the NASDAQ minus 146. The S&P off 10. America's listening to Fox News.
When Guam is not heard in Washington, our families pay the price. We pay it in higher costs, in housing that feels out of reach, in food assistance put at risk, and our Manamco and neighbors with disabilities still waiting for benefits they've earned. Mary Camacho Torres is running to change that. She'll fight to lower costs, deliver fairness for our veterans and downwind communities, and make sure Guam finally has a voice that's heard. This election, vote Mary Camacho Torres for Congress, #1 on the ballot.
I'm Mary Camacho Torres, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Tourists for Congress Committee.
Sit down breakfast? Wendy's. Grab and go breakfast? Wendy's. Big variety? Wendy's. Best value on island? Yeah, you guessed it. Wendy's. From hearty local breakfast platters to breakfast sandwiches and burritos to the morning melt panini made for mornings on the move. Wendy's breakfast has something for every kind of morning. Whether you've got the time to sit or you're heading out the door, Wendy's delivers big flavor and unbeatable value. However you start your day, start it with Wendy's.
A chaotic Democratic primary in Wisconsin has the party asking for a do-over.
Outgoing Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers endorsing fellow Democrat David Crowley, who previously dropped out of the governor's race, who's now back in, after Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez dropped out last week over a campaign funding scandal. The chaos prompting the Wisconsin Democratic Party to ask the State Elections Commission to allow tens of thousands of voters who've already cast absentee ballots to vote again against rules previously set by the commission. A do-over would also trigger a court battle with a primary in Wisconsin just 3 weeks away. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis says the number of U.S. adults out of the workforce has surged to more than 100 million in June.
The overall number of those who are not working is now higher than at the height of the Great Recession or the COVID pandemic. It covers all Americans aged 16 and over who aren't currently working, and that includes retirees and students. But if you drill down even further, 5.3 million workers, or about 5% of the total, have dropped out because they are discouraged or they're not even bothering to look for work. Up to 22% of America's non-working population are on long-term illness, disability, or other forms of benefits.
Fox Business's Ashley Webster. Retirees make up about 50% of those not working, while about 16% are in school full-time. The Apollo Gallery at the Louvre Museum is reopening to the public for the first time since the theft last year of the crown jewels. The museum has removed the collections and precious jewels, returning the gallery to its original ceremonial purpose. Security of the museum has been increased with the new surveillance cameras and anti-intrusion systems. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
I'm Sabrina Salas-Matznani, and I approve this message.
Some people run for office for recognition and personal agendas, and there are those like Senator Sabrina Salas-Matznani. Bree doesn't seek the limelight, and her only agenda is us. Bree continues to battle on our behalf, championing the needs of GMH, advocating for Guam's veterans, and bringing cannabis another step closer to becoming an industry. Bree elects Senator Sabrina Salas-Matznani, number 12 on the Republican ballot. Bree, the difference.
Sherry Mendiola here from Security Title. Thinking about skipping title insurance to save money? It might seem like a small shortcut, but it can lead to big problems later. Hidden liens, ownership disputes, or even fraud can surface after you purchase your home, putting your investment at risk. Without title insurance, you could be responsible for costly legal fees or even lose your property. Title insurance protects your ownership and gives you peace of mind from day one. Don't take the risk. Call the professionals at Security Title. We're here to help.
This summer, fall in love with a new Nissan. Enjoy financing as low as 3.99% APR all summer long on select models. Whether you're looking for sporty, rugged, or family-friendly, Nissan Guam has the perfect ride waiting for you. Just one test drive and you'll be saying, I love me a Nissan. Don't miss your chance to save big and feel the love this summer. See us first. On approved credit, some conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details.
Day. It's 8:06. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. 24-year-old son Ezra was charged in Superior Court with invasion of privacy and harassment. Police officers responded to a disturbance report at around 11 o'clock Tuesday night at a PD residence after a 10-year-old girl reported being watched in the bathroom. The victim stated she woke up to use the restroom and saw Ezra lying on a nearby futon. She then noticed an eye peering through the gap in the door frame and recognized Ezra. She reported the incident to a family member after exiting. Meanwhile, a 2023 police brutality lawsuit filed by 63-year-old Jose Develis against GovGuam GPD and several officers is scheduled for trial on October 26 in district court. Develis says officers violently pulled him from his vehicle, punched him, ripped out his earrings, and severely injured him during a traffic stop. Court documents describe Develis as small in stature and a cancer survivor who still lacks the physical strength to resist physical harm. He is seeking $100,000 in punitive damages and $2,000 stolen during the arrest. Defendants have filed a motion to dismiss the case. More news after this.
Back to school starts with one important stop at the FHP Health Center. Get your child's school physical, immunizations, vision exam, and dental checkup with caring providers. Complete your child's back-to-school checkups at FHP and receive a free gift after the visit while supplies last. With one checkup, your child is ready for school, and FHP is here long after the first day of class. For every stage of your child's health, visit FHPGuam.com to request an appointment. FHP, our island, your clinic.
During KUAM's Decision 2026 Gubernatorial Forum, former Senator Dwayne St. Nicholas emphasized that public education reforms should focus directly on students and families, particularly those with special needs, stating that officials must avoid burdening the public with difficult administrative decisions. Senator Joe St. Augustine argued against school closures, proposing instead that GDOE better manage, readjust, and realign staffing and resources across campuses to match regional needs. The ticket's platform focuses on student-centered care, fiscal management, and operational efficiency. And 25-year-old Tialyn Flores has returned to Guam after more than a decade away to serve as Texas's first ever Liberation Queen, crowned by the North Texas Chamorro Association on July 11. Originally from Jigo and now residing in McKinney, Texas, Flores raised over $5,000 in sponsorships to support the celebration. Although Super Typhoon Bobby altered her plans to participate in Guam's parade, she reconnected with family, attended local events, and helped lead a beach cleanup. As a cultural dancer and workshop leader, Flores aims to help youth in the diaspora stay connected to their Chamorro roots, language, and heritage. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
I'm trying to get contact with Morgan Griffith. Oh, the new Dave Davis. He's the author of 9724 that people have been talking about and misinterpreting over the last couple of days. And you can go to his website and tell him whatever. I just want it'd be fun to get an interview with the guy and see what it is, what the genesis behind all of this stuff. And so I've asked Gemini, if it would, to please review 9724. Tell me about the author and anything in the author's background that might support the urgency with which he moved on 9724. And it came back. The bill has drawn swift bipartisan condemnation from representatives and civil rights organizations across the territories. Opponents, including advocacy group Right to Democracy and leaders in Guam and U.S. Virgin Islands, point out that the legislative language is dangerously broad and could create a class of residents born on U.S. soil but are citizens of nowhere.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I wish I had the little echo thing in the background. It would have made it that much more exciting. And territorial officials argue the bill creates an unequal two-tiered system of citizenship, penalizing territorial populations that serve in the U.S. Armed Forces at high per capita rates. And then we've got treaty and covenant violations up in the CNMI there, noting that altering citizenship rules unilaterally violates the negotiated bilateral CNMI covenant, which requires mutual consent for structural changes along the same lines that Mr. Griffith is proposing here. Former criminal defense attorney and longtime member of the Virginia House of Delegates, Griffith is a staunch conservative and a senior member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Historically, his platform has centered on energy policy, coal and regional economic redevelopment in Appalachia, strict constitutional interpretation, and tight immigration enforcement, and that's why maybe he's got this thing out for birthright tourism, which is what he's trying to put a stop to. Not necessarily little brown babies being born on Guam that are destined to be residents without a country to call home. 8:11 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Still lots more to talk about. Do I have time for the last big look at weather, Real Joe? Is it possible? I think I updated the map here. I'll click the button again just to make sure, because I want to see where all of this rain that they're talking about is going to be coming from. A little bit of chop out to the south of us, and a little bit of chop to the northeast of us right now, and that could be bringing some of these scattered showers, mainly afternoon today. Partly sunny, highs near 87 degrees. Scattered showers mainly afternoon. Tomorrow again, otherwise partly sunny skies. By the time it gets to be Saturday, beach day, baby. Mostly sunny. Highs near 88 degrees on Saturday with a heat index today will feel like 92 degrees. There's a 30% chance of rain out there. Sunset tonight should be about 6:51. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on 93.3. This is The Point.
Something is brewing from the island's favorite coffee. Now you can enjoy the smooth, full-body taste of Mr. Brown coffee. Uncanned and freshly ground for a richer, more satisfying cup. You heard that right. Mr. Brown now comes fresh from bean to cup. However you take your coffee, hot or iced, Mr. Brown delivers bold and smooth, fresh taste in every sip. Premium refreshment, ready when you are. Freshly ground Mr. Brown coffee, now exclusively available at Circle K.
What do world champion martial artists Brandon Vera and DJ Jackson have in common with jazz great Patrick Palomo? They all teach Mount Carmel Academy Charter School students. Mount Carmel is now a charter school serving the entire island of Guam, voted Guam's best school, and is tuition free. We begin our 70th year of educating the complete child. Register today. Call 565-5128.
813 Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. All my friends over at Marina Grill down in Agate. You know, if you're born in Agate, citizen of Agate. It's true. Don't find Tony Babauta. He'll tell you. Agate rules anyway. They rule because they've also got Marina Grill out there. There's a marina, obviously, and there's a restaurant in there, as there should be, with a cool little bar. Come, we don't have a marina over at Boat Basing. That would be cool. We got Ponos, right? There's Antigua down the street, but we don't have like a Ganya Boat Basing grill. If we did, I would want the same people with the same recipes and the same prices and the same incredible service you will find at Marina Grill in Agate. It's 8:14. Time to elect, what's his name? Mateo Mortera.
This time check is brought to you by Mateo Mortera for Senator. Not familiar with his name? That means new ideas and a fresh perspective. Vote Mateo Mortera for Senator. Number 6, Republican.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
This is why vowels are better than consonants. I have a friend, she's a speech therapist, a good one. She says vowels and consonants need each other, but vowels don't need lips to move. Consonants need lips. You know, and I like the idea that the vowels
where's this going?
Are out there independent.
Where is this going? Now that we're talking about her lips?
Ventriloquist. I mean, that's one of the hardest things to do for a ventriloquist, is because there are consonants that require your lips to move. A, B, 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 C, D, E, F, G.
That's how you know she's lying, Ray.
So
if her lips move.
There's a trick. There's a trick that ventriloquists use. I've completely lost control and the train of thought that I was on. Birthright. 8:15 in the morning, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to be a U.S. citizen. Everybody's mad that some guy out in Virginia, out in the Appalachian places, are calling the shots for people on Guam and in the territories. How dare they? Whatever. And at the end of the day, it all comes back down to a Supreme Court rule that says if you are born in the United States of America, no matter what the reasons under the jurisdiction thereof, you are a citizen of the United States of America. And I think we've got adequate documentation that there are people that take advantage of that. It's called birthright tourism. And if you don't think we have it here, just trust, we do. There are condominiums in all over the island where
third trimester condominiums.
Yes, and an agent has convinced them of the great idea of having a baby born on Guam. There's no law against it, and apparently any conversation about one has recently been batted away by the Supreme Court. So why not turn that into an opportunity where we would have special prenatal, postnatal concierge service. We can have, what are they, handmaidens, if you will. What are they called? The moms?
Doulas. Doulas.
The word before it was doulas.
Free iron pills.
And then you got a guy that shows up after the baby is born with an American passport, or I'm sorry, a Social Security card, a USA birth certificate, and reminders for come on back on the 18th birthday, and we'll show them a red, white, and blue party, right? But anyway, so why don't we take advantage of that? And some, I pondered this with a friend the other day, says we don't have enough doctors. We don't have enough baby doctors. I got a baby doctor on the line right now. Dr. Tom Shea, how you doing?
Good.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It's been a long time.
It has been a little bit. The doctor was trying to invite me out to dinner, and one of these days we'll see if we can get that done. Maybe when Big Sister Shelley gets back from Guam. I mean, from travel to Guam.
For sure.
Yes. At any rate, so you've been tickling the idea of birth tourism in a couple of your socials, not necessarily jumping all in on it because you've got other patients that you need to see to in the clinic.
Yeah, Ray, I'm actually not interested in the birth tourism. Let me tell you why, okay? I'm an immigrant. And, I came to the United States with my parents, and they came in a legal way. And we spent our time in Hawaii, and we applied for the green card. And I saw how hard my mom and my dad worked to ensure that we achieved the goal of getting U.S. citizenship by naturalization. And I saw my mom's tears and how hard she worked to ensure that we got that. And, I think right now the immigration system is somewhat being cheated by birth tourism. I mean, you come here, you can spend money, but then yet again, you come here, but you're lying to the immigration that you're not here as a tourist. You're here for the purpose of delivering your baby in order to get U.S. citizenship. There are several articles I also read about the national security issue, is that there's millions of babies that are already born from China in the United States. So the national security issue is a concern too. But as far as birth tourism goes, sure, it's a very lucrative venture. And if I were to do it, hey, Ray, I don't have to see, the hundreds of pregnant local moms. I could just do 100 birth tourism babies to equal to that. And let me tell you something else. For a local mom to come and see me, I have to spend 9 months of prenatal care in order to see from the beginning to the very end, and postpartum care up to 6 weeks. These birth tourism babies, the mom comes in at 36 weeks, 35, sometimes 37, and they come in to see you for one visit, they deliver. 2 visits, they deliver. Done, and they pay cash. It's a great venture. I don't blame some doctors who, venture out and doing that. This particular issue. And it's okay to have a debate on it and disagree. And I see it firsthand. When Neil commented to me that, well, Doc, Guam is small. There's only a tiny amount of people that's coming in for birth tourism. Well, I asked Neil, how does he know? Right. If you don't declare, how do you know? But I can tell you, over the last 30 years I've been delivering babies here, at one point in time, you will see hundreds of birth tourism in a year. Hundreds. Beyond 100. And like you said before,
I think I asked you the question on another subject recently, having to do with population growth on Guam, and there are a lot of babies being born on Guam, but they aren't necessarily resident babies. So there might be a little bit of a misunderstanding or a lack of clarity on what is actually happening with the population on Guam. We could actually be going in reverse because we don't note what the background of the mother and father are.
Yes, and then let me tell you something. About 10, 15 years ago, we used to deliver 300 babies a month at GMA. 300 a month. Last month, we delivered 166. The month before, a couple months before, it was 150s. So the range is between 150 to maybe 180 at the most. Now it's down by 40%. And the fact is, if you look at the school matriculation, look at the DOE school matriculation, it's gone way down. But it's ridiculous. So where have all these population gone? Sure, people are having less babies, they're going off island, etc. But certainly 300 babies a month 10 years ago compared to now, there's got to be some factor in there that's causing that shift. But, what I'm telling Neil is this. I read the bill, and I read part of Section 2, And the Section 2, the amendment made by subsection A, B, and C, and D, it says right there it shouldn't apply and would not affect citizenship or nationality of the person born in the United States territory and who is born as a child of a United States citizen or the child of an alien that's lawfully admitted for permanent residence in the United States. So that's pretty clear to me. But of course, you get attorneys involved, and if you're way on the left, I don't look at the presidency. I don't look at Trump, Obama, whoever, Biden, whoever it is. I look at the policy that they create. And when I look at it, I don't see this as a big deal by preventing birth tourism. I think they're trying to expand it. Oh, you're going to take away birth tourism. Next thing you know, they're going to take away our citizenship. That's not going to happen. No way.
Yeah,
I
appreciate your clarity. I think there's a bunch of people that hopefully heard what you just said and go, oh, nothing burger, move on. And as Sean Gumatata pointed out this morning, we've got a lot more greater, more pressing, more urgent problems here with getting babies that you have delivered adequate child care. They're going to try to see to that over at the legislature today, one way or the other, and see if we can make certain things permanent and a little bit easier for some of these operators so that they can continue to do business, pay their people, pay their rent, etc. Watching the babies that have come out of Tom Shea's practice over in his place. I mean, we've got issues with housing here. We've got major issues with drugs and mental health, and then we can get into the hospital conversation about the fact that they are using perfectly good grounds for a new hospital in Tamuning to house green waste and construction debris left over from Bobby.
Absolutely. And, Sean is correct. And Dr. Nguyen is correct, too. He came out and said that. And he's an immigrant. He's an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. And we protect our process. That's got to be protected. If the Right for Democracy is so keen on protecting democracy, they got to protect the process. And you notice that they really haven't provided a solution for birth tourism. It's not bad. If you're going to amend the law, why not amend it so they make it more clear then, right? Instead of just trashing it, just make it more clear. Put in birth tourism on there as forbidden. They can do it, but don't just throw the whole law out because we're trying to address an issue that's affecting not just Guam, but the country. But start with the territory. Why not? This is where America Days begin, right? Why not start with the birth tourism begins here? Whatever it is, it might be. But you got to remember now, I take care of moms, local moms. That's my main focus. I'm not into this birth tourism thing. But if I were to go into birth tourism, hundreds of moms, I deliver an average 300-400 babies a year. I don't have to do that. Why do I want to work so hard? I'm already 30 years on Guam. I can just do what I want and retire. The problem is that birth tourism competes for resources that's so limited on Guam against the local pregnant moms. The local pregnant moms, even if you have private insurance, you have a hard time getting in to see an OBGYN. So that's the main issue that the legislature needs to address. A lot of the lawmakers are jumping on the bandwagon and saying, oh, yeah, this is not good. They're going to take away our citizenship. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. They got to make that clear. They're trying to stretch it, and I'm kind of shocked in some of the lawmakers that they don't pay attention to it. But there's more important issue to address.
You're not the only one. So I can't talk you into being a partner in my birth tourism company. Now you're Chinese. You could pass for Korean though.
Let me tell you.
We go to Korea and we do a couple of stand-ups.
If I do birth tourism, you can be my partner. Let me tell you why. I can speak the language of Chinese, okay? I was born in Taiwan. I can speak Mandarin. I can speak Taiwanese. You don't think they want to come to me to do birth tourism?
Yes.
Are you kidding? Every day I must get a call from them. So don't tell me that it doesn't exist on Guam. I turned them away. The reason why I turned them away is that I'm an immigrant of the United States of America. I served a country by being in the United States Navy. I protect democracy for Guam. I served in Guam for 30 years. So don't tell me about birth tourism and that it's not lucrative. Oh, well, Dr. Shea doesn't like that because, blah, 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 blah. It's not about taking away our citizenship. It's about protecting our citizenship. That is something that the lawmaker needs to understand. That's all I have to say.
I got you, Doc. We'll talk about this. We'll explore the possibilities of this new venture the next time we're together in person.
Let me tell you, if the federal government tells all of us that birth tourism is legal, then we'll sit down and we'll talk about that venture, okay?
Gotcha. I'll see you pretty soon. You have a great day. 888-255-888-TALK. Come on, you want it?
This is Love Island, man. 300 babies a year? What are they doing out there?
But so no, seriously, it's something that you got to look into because at the outside it feels like the numbers are going up and we're still making babies around here, and we are making babies. But the truth is, and you just heard it. Was a 50% difference there between what seems to be the normal aggregate number of babies that are born to residents here versus the people that will fly in from all kinds of source markets to come and deliver their babies here on Guam. Is this a new story? No, it's not a new story. We'll go back to the story July 3rd, 2017. And this is kind of interesting because they're quoting a guy that hasn't been there for a while. He listens to the broadcast, so he might chime in. Maternity tourism rates consistent for Korean visitors. Again, the story from 2017. The island's public hospital delivers a steady number of non-resident newborns. Recently collected data reveals, stand by, I got to check on something real quick. Recent data reveals a majority of the babies are born to South Korean visitors. The pejorative term anchor baby has been used to describe the phenomenon wherein pregnant mothers in their last trimester travel to a desired destination to deliver their child who at birth is eligible for that country's citizenship. Last fiscal year, Guam Memorial Hospital delivered 116 babies to non-U.S. mothers, 77 of whom were from South Korea. So far in 2017, the number of infants born to non-U.S. mothers is 77, of whom 54 were born to travelers from Korea. The numbers could generally correlate to the growing number of Korean tourist arrivals, but even the number of births by Japanese nationals is much, much lower. For instance, last fiscal year, there was just one delivery for a Japanese national. That number, again, just one in 2017. James Gillen, director of the Department of Public Health and Social Services, said that where the expecting mothers come from generally determines their purpose for birthing in Guam and what they will do after. He said, I think typically what you'll find is that mothers coming from Korea give birth here and obtain a social security number and a passport for their child, then return to Korea. They're thinking that 20 or 30 years later, their child can return to the U.S., go to school, or what have you. Vote in elections, work in the country. Why not? They're citizens by virtue of their birth here on Guam. There it is. What's that, Jose? Dr. Shea just gave a master class on how to speak about a proposed bill. Read it first. Yep. Bottom of the hour on the Ray Gibson Show. We'll return to all kinds of other conversations, one way or the other. Celebrity birthday special events on the way after Donna's done with news, which is after these.
Half a day. This is Jerry Yingling. Whether you know me as Jerry or Yingling, you'll find me on the Democratic side of the ballot, number 7. I humbly ask you to cast a vote for me, Jerry Yingling. Thank you. I'm Jerry Yingling, and I approve this message.
I'm Mary Ann Suya Lujan. My husband, Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, is ready to continue working for the people of Guam. Jesse works hard on the everyday issues that matter to your island. And as his wife, I see the dedication and effort he puts into serving your community. I humbly ask for your vote for my husband, Jesse Lujan, this election. Si Diyos maase, maraming salamat po.
I'm Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
8:31. Apparently, we missed a reunion in the Philippines. Carl Meyer was chiming in, says, Magandang umaga from Makati. Great evening with Sarita Guerin and Douglas at the Manila Elks Club last night. Grace Kirong Bear, next time, be a stranger. Okay, got it. Tropic Shade chiming in. I was birthed by a Filipino doctor in Illinois. Therefore, I demand Filipino citizenship so I can avail of my senior citizen discounts when we travel to the Philippines. Sarita checking in says, Carl Meyer, thank you for the wonderful dinner. Thank you to the Manila Elks Club for the warm welcome and hospitality at the deal. Very nice. Always, you know what? They say it's nice to run into Guamanians and people you know when you're in Manila. I wouldn't know. If I see somebody that I think I know, I just kind of look in the other direction. I'm on vacation.
Anywhere, really.
From everybody. It's 8:32 in the morning. Donna D with her last big look at news and headlines. What's going on here?
The U.S. Air Force will not build hardened concrete shelters for bombers at Andersen Air Force Base on Guam, choosing instead a strategy of aircraft dispersion. The military is constructing a massive 20-acre concrete apron to support the Agile Combat Employment Strategy, ensuring aircraft, personnel, and equipment can rapidly disperse and avoid vulnerable fixed targets during potential missile attacks. Meanwhile, Guam officials are strongly opposing a bill introduced by Congressman Morgan Griffith that aims to stop birth tourism by ending automatic citizenship for children born to foreign nationals in U.S. territories. The measure does not affect U.S. citizens or permanent residents. Governor Lulian Guerrero's administration is working to withdraw the zero co-sponsor bill, while Vice Speaker Tony Yada invited Griffith to visit Guam next month. And Houston Zoo Supervisor Amber Zelmer updated the Texas Master Naturalist Brazoria chapter on the Mariana Crow Recovery Project. Once wiped out on Guam by brown tree snakes, the crow population on Rota has grown to an estimated 300 birds, giving conservationists a whole new reason to start counting crows. Officials report 114 birds have been released, with 76 confirmed alive after the 2025 season. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
I knew you were going to do it. I didn't know how to string the words together myself, but I saw that story this morning, and I said, "There's a Counting Crows joke in here." Counting Crows. For those of you that might not remember, what, the 90s, early 2000s, yeah, Counting Crows was a band. Mariana Crow and its recovery efforts taking center stage in Angleton out there somewhere in the United Snakes of America. Are you ready for celebrity birthdays now, Donnie?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, including the funkiest man on the planet, last name Clinton. It's not Bill.
Oh.
It's George Clinton.
George Clinton.
George Clinton gave us Parliament and Funkadelic back in the 1970s. Without Parliament and Funkadelic, there would have been no need for Skateland. Because that was deep into the playlist, man. We got Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
Wow.
80.
Whoa.
He's too old for that blank. I gotta look it up. And because he's
Does he
80
have any
now.
other roles?
How old was
Did
he?
he play Nelson Mandela or?
Did he?
No, I don't think he did. But I'm sort of trying to sort out how old he was when in the movie with Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon, because it occurs to me that compared to like us now, we're older than he was in that movie. Don Henley from the Eagles is 79. Comedian and actor Albert Brooks, likewise, 79. Willem Dafoe, we were just talking about him because I was watching the very, very pale, white, scary-looking Willem Dafoe in Streets of Fire, and that must have been a long time ago because he's 71 years old. The younglings will know him as the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
He was creepy in that.
He did excellent in that one there. John Leguizamo is 66 years old. I will watch.
Rodriguez?
Yes, whatever movie he's in, I will go and watch it. And I got to be careful about saying that because apparently he's in the Odyssey.
That's right.
And I'm not sure if that's going to be on my list of things to walk across the street to watch. David Spade from Just Shoot Me, Saturday Night Live, etc. 62 years old.
Oh, only? Okay.
That's what I thought. Let me see. Selena Gomez is 34. And Prince George of Wales is 13. I only throw that in there for people that
13?
Yeah, Prince George.
Has it been that long?
Apparently so. Oh my gosh. Looking to see if there's something kind of halfway interesting in the historicals. It was in 2016. Japan's Funai Electric announced it was manufacturing the last video cassette. Again, 2016. We had them up until then, and I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's looking at their VCR going, you know what? I think maybe it's time that I started investing in, I don't know, taping shows off of television with my video cassette recorder.
I want to transfer all old cassettes into something else so that I could still watch those old things.
Yeah. You need a working VCR, and you can find them, and then you need a dubbing system to be able to do it. And they make them. It's Hammock Day, not ham hocks, hammock, as in the thing that you sleep in. Southern Mountain Gear has a delightful selection. Lion's Share Day. Let me see, BLT Sandwich Day. I love a BLT. Love a BLT.
Okay, yeah.
Mango Day.
I have dried mango in my bag.
Everyone should.
Cebu.
And
Yes.
Rat Catcher's Day, and I don't know what this is. I got to look it up. It's in the list of things for special events, and I saw it and I thought, well, maybe somebody smarter than us will be able to chime in and explain what Pi Approximation Day is. Pi Approximation Day. There's a thing that I get the Forex, the financials. So I always look at the foreign exchange rates. And recently, Google did something. So if you want to do a lookup, say the exchange a dollar and a yen, it will give you a menu of different currencies that you can look at. And there's all kinds of just strange, bizarre numbers in there. And you can, when you go around the Philippines, there's also a listing for Pi every day. Like, it changes. I'm not sure why it's included, but it is because Google said that's what they want to do. Donna, that's enough out of you.
Goodbye.
All right. We'll talk again soon. I'm burping a variety of proteins that I ate for dinner last night.
He's burping citizenship.
Bro, so at John Savaris' thing, I already told you that they brought out a million pounds worth of food from the back of Mayor Melissa Savaris' van. Oh, my God. And it was all of my little boy favorites. The softest food that I ate last night was lumpia. And I hope it's not off-putting, but when you see me at a buffet, at a fiesta, at a table, and there's lumpia there, I have a process. And my process is I will bite the top off of the lumpia and then pour the sauce.
Oh, I do that with the...
Had you. That was a good one. I was thinking
You're
about...
supposed to say sneeze.
I forgot. But anyway, so I got goosebumps on that one, too.
That's a good hack, man.
Thank you, right? It
you
works.
pop the top of the
Yeah,
lumpia
so I pop the top of it and I pour the sauce in, because that's the thing. Because when I was a little boy, I used to get frustrated where they just prop it over the belly button, if you will, of the lumpia. So I like to open it up so it actually soaks into the inside of it. So that was the softest thing I had. The rest of it was pork bellies. Which, if you do it right, it's like meat potato chips. You can't eat just one. And they had these kind of dry rubbed chicken wings that were awesome, and little bite-sized ones too. I mean, they didn't go crazy on the big ones, and that's okay with me. I like the little ones because there's something about the way you get to the meat on it a little bit faster, and you can go through the process. And they had fried pork chops, reminded me of Sarita. They didn't put the lemon powder on it, but it was still good. Fried pork chops. Oh my God, just everything.
When you
was.
See pork chop, it reminds you of Sarita.
Yeah, yes, pork chop. So the question is who was your caterer last night? Because I know your mom didn't cook all of that food. And the guys, Chewy and the guys over in the back at B&B, sliders. They made cheeseburger sliders. It was good. Lumpia belly button. Yes, that's what it's called. Tattoo Sean is, appreciating my wordsmithing here today. It's the belly. No other way to describe it. It's where the folds go inside the thing. Yeah. So that's the belly button of the lumpia. BLT from Carl Meyer is the sandwich special at the Manila Elks Club this week with super salad. Only 350 pesos. And 350 pesos is what, about $4 or $5? What's the rate here? 60. Might as well do this now. I was talking about the Forex. I don't have an oil number because I'm sure it'll disappoint everybody. Let me see if this is updated. I'll give you the Tapas number here in just a second. This is not West Texas crude. This one here is a little bit closer to what our expectations are for oil that turns into fuel that we consume in our cars. It is just under $95 a barrel. That is way up from the low in the beginning of July when it was moving at about $67-68 a barrel, and that's because we get it's obviously a flash up in Epic Fury, and it's just that I don't know who does the talking for Iran, but whoever is doing the talking for Iran that is making deals is not talking to the other guys that want to keep harassing the oil ships that are trying to run through the Straits of Hormuz. And usually what happens when the price of the crude is going up and the price of the gasoline is going up, Donald Trump will direct Pete Hegseth in the Department of War to blow up something big. Or what do we got? 5 or 6 really big ones that we can blow up? let's send a few £1,000 worth of bombs in there and see if we can bring these guys back to the table. They, quote, want to do a deal, but every time we get to a, quote, deal, somebody decides that they're going to start harassing the boats and sending missiles off to our allied countries in the area. Anyways, that's a big deal. If you are doing some traveling, you want to go to Japan, why not? The yen at 163 today. It was 163 yesterday, just a few cents shy of each other in the last 24 hours. It's good for us if we want to go to Osaka and Dotonbori and go and take our picture, the selfie in front of the running guy, who is Filipino. Did you know that?
What?
The guy in the Running Man in Dotonbori in
He's
the picture.
Filipino.
He's Pinoy.
Okay.
He's Pinoy runner. Anyway, so it's 163 yen to the dollar here. Philippine peso, they are enjoying right now, Carl Meyer and his BLT, 61.8 against the greenback today in the Philippines.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is kind of crazy. It is. What was it when I was there last in
58?
Yeah, I think it was around 58 or something like that.
What?
They said it was going to be going about something to do with GDP. And South Korean won 1,477. Which is a little bit better than it was yesterday at 1480. Bitcoin number, Real Joe, yesterday about 66,000 and change. What is it today?
866. Why is that good? But gas is.
I don't know if they're all tied together in the thing. Anyway, it's 8:43 in the morning, and did I already kick Donna out?
You did.
Okay, so it's just me and you for a little bit.
Forever.
Right. Don't look at me in the eyes when you say things like that. At 8:44 in the morning, a quick break, and we'll return to kill what's left of the 8 o'clock hour.
Guam, get ready. Wendy's Mandarin Chicken Salad is back. It's time to burst with flavor with the island's favorite salad. Fresh, flavorful, and island vibes in every bite. Made with mandarin oranges, crunchy almonds, crispy noodles, grilled chicken, and all tossed in that irresistible Asian sesame dressing. Don't miss the citrusy comeback everyone's been waiting for. Tangy, tasty, and totally refreshing, just the way you remember it. Swing by your nearest Wendy's location and grab your Mandarin Chicken Salad today.
Every day, Guam families are working harder just to keep up. The cost of living continues to rise. Young families are struggling to find affordable housing. Too many people are worried about their future. That's why I'm running for governor. I believe government should put Guam families first by focusing on practical solutions, supporting our communities, and creating opportunities so our children can build their future right here at home. I'm Tony Atta, and I ask for your vote for governor so together we can put Guam first.
Back to school starts with one important stop at the FHB Health Center. Get your child's school physical, immunizations, vision exam, and dental checkup with caring providers. Complete your child's back-to-school checkups at FHP and receive a free gift after the visit while supplies last. With one checkup, your child is ready for school, and FHB is here long after the first day of class. For every stage of your child's health, visit FHPGuam.com to request an appointment. FHP, our island, your clinic.
It's 8:45. That's Brie time.
This time check is brought to you by Senator Sabrina Salas Matanani. It's time to Bree-elect Senator Bree, number 12 Republican. Bree the difference.
Do I want to look? Do I want to look? Do I want to look? I called up the web page where I get prices for oil. And yeah, oh God, $88.34 for a barrel of West Texas crude. That is the current trading now. Let me take you back. Yeah, let me take you back to the 9th of July, 72.20 for a barrel of that stuff. Yep. Okay, got it. Ugly. Don't look at it. I didn't look at the rest of the numbers here. Stand by one while I haven't done, like the full-blown finance report in just a little bit. We were crazy going nuts on the Dow here not that long ago. It was banging around 53,000. Today, 52,218 in the red. NASDAQ dropping 146 points. And the S&P 500 is down by about 10 points here. The numbers are still fairly healthy in comparison to what they were when Biden was the president. But it's still disappointing to see us go up to some dizzying heights and then crash down because the Iranians can't get their republic together. What are we now? 847. Gold at 44,127. That's off by about $25. And like I said, West Texas crude trading in the crazy high 88s here today. I don't know why this caught my eye here. There's apparently a survey that has been conducted. It says it's going to be Josh and EJ. Kidding. Nobody's doing any real research that I'm aware of right now. And if I get my hands on some, I'll be happy to share it with you. A survey of shoppers found the most embarrassing thing we can put in our carts is, Joe, any ideas?
What?
A most embarrassing thing we can put in our shopping carts. I'd say that the list...
Vegetables.
Well, I was thinking, and it's possible that I need to start practicing for this. Adult diapers might be among the most embarrassing.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Almond milk, Ray.
Certain feminine hygiene products, when you get sent to the store to buy, and if you're the boyfriend or the husband, you're not allowed to say no.
No.
That literally grounds for divorce. I mean,
There's too many choices.
You didn't want to buy my pink
ones.
box? You didn't want to buy my blue box today? What's Jeriola's number? But apparently the most embarrassing thing that you can put in your shopping cart is, I don't know, I might give you the answer a little bit later on. I think I might just tease that out for a while. Speaking of teases, front page of the Guam Daily Post has got a couple of stories here. Guam's leaders unite to oppose birthright citizenship measure. And then the story about the missile system may be missing the missile. What? Who's the editor that put all of the MISS words together? Missile system may be missing missile in a thing. And then we prayed. We opened up our church missile and prayed for its speedy recovery here. And I don't know. I read the thing this morning, and I don't know. This just certain interpretations. Is it possible, according to Leland, if I'm reading this right, is it possible that they came out here and they brought that pretty what is it, the warthog that Joe likes to talk about it, right? What's the name of that the truck that they've got there? Actually, you know what? The truck that they've got reminds me of Frank Bloss's truck.
Oh, nice.
You see that one on Marine Corps Drive over the weekend with him and Mario Cottis? Big, like, military-looking thing. Yeah. So where's the picture? All right. So is it possible here that all we have is the mock-up, if you will, is we've got the vehicle and then we've got the military flatbed with about 70 million tires on it, because the more tires it has, the more Army it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got this this camo tarp over the back of it. And oddly, Joe pointed out yesterday, this picture has a rainbow in it. It's a rainbow on it. I don't know if that's
I hope it's not AI, dude. Or like, remember when they did those blow-up military tanks and stuff?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. For decoys.
Fool the people?
For decoys, yes. A very common practice in World War II. They had all of these depots that were supposed to be all kinds of tanks and everything. We didn't have the inventory, but we had inflatables. And so the idea was surveillance planes from Germany would fly over them and go, oh, boy, there's a whole ton of tanks down there. We're in trouble. At any rate, so I don't know. It sounds like the speculation is these things are plagued with problems. They don't work. So we brought out a hypersonic missile and we pretended to put the missile into launch position so that we might be able to fool the Chinese communists and the North Koreans that we were battle ready on a hypersonic level, and we had something here on Guam that could reach out and get into parts of China. So you got your hypersonics. Now we've got our hypersonics. But that was not, believe it or not, these two stories, even though they're on the front page of the Guam Daily Post, are not the most interesting stories in today's newspaper. I will point you in the direction of page number 13. Now, you think You think that we are getting snubbed by this Griffiths guy that's screwing around with citizenship. And even though he said in the language of the bill that it would not impact anybody that's got at least one U.S. citizen as a parent or otherwise legally capable of residing in the United States of America on a permanent basis, even if it just kind of dances around that. I even though it says it has that language in there, I think there's people that have conveniently not looked at that so that they can pretend to be riled up about how they're they're dissing with our American citizenship here on Guam. I feel like we've been dissed here in this case, and I know people in the organization. And we'll send them a letter expressing my curiosity as to why, in a place where we are the per capita, we talked about this yesterday, per capita greatest consumers of a product called Spam by Hormel. How is it possible that we are not on the list of test markets for the Spam dog?
What is that?
What? You didn't read the newspaper you brought me?
Spam dog.
It's in the double truck of today's Guam Daily Post, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. You can see there's an actual picture of a hot dog thing.
I get it.
It's Spam shaped in a hot dog. Spam dog. Oh.
Dude, I'd put pork and beans on top of that.
The new Spam dog is available in select markets in the Northeast. In the Northeast, why? And Hawaii. Hormel Food plans to expand distribution of the new product this summer. It's summer already. It's almost August. It's back to school in a few days. I'm just saying, and we ain't got no Spam dogs. Tim Carmen, writing for the Washington Post. For reasons that are not clear, the man who unleashed Spam onto the world kept a file filled with nasty letters from World War II soldiers who were forced to survive on his canned meat, the one with a shelf life measured in years, not day. He referred to it as his scurrilous file. If they think Spam is terrible, they ought to have eaten the bully beef we had in the last war. Maybe that's where the verb to beef came from. Maybe the verb to spam will come out of this war, he told people in 1945. An interesting start to an article with a very, very interesting end. And it talks about, and there are pictures of a Spam shaped in a hot dog. And then you put the Spam wiener in a hot dog bun. We put some relish, some ketchup, and some mustard. And don't get me started on whether or not you can have ketchup in your hot dog after the age of 12. And then goes on to write, my first bite of the basic Spam dog was a pleasant surprise. I was expecting to borrow a phrase from Jim Gaffigan, nasty meat. Instead, I got a mouthful of juicy pork. Its salt levels aggressive, but not homicidal. The dehydrated stock had dialed up the pork flavor exponentially. The Spam dog is pork to the power of 2. I turned to Caruso and declared that I was a convert. I could see myself ordering a Spam dog at Nationals Park as a welcome alternative to the all-beef Franks. 4 bites later, I retracted everything. The gurgling inside my stomach told me there was no way I could finish this dog, not even under duress. The cumulative effect of this processed Frank, the salt, the oil, the dehydrated pork stock, the flavoring was wreaking havoc on my system, soy boy. The Hawaiian version simply added a layer of sweetness atop this tidal wave of manipulated flavor. The Spam dog reminded me of the competition barbecue in which pitmasters inject their briskets with all sorts of enhancers to provide judges with one exquisite bite. This kind of turbocharged meat is not designed to be eaten as a meal. As with competition brisket, the Spam dog can be enjoyed in a single isolated bite. Anything more, and you're likely looking for the nearest toilet. Hater. Wondering whether you've just been spammed with another unnecessary item. But having read that article, the Washington Post guy, what do you expect? He probably wears capri pants and leather shoes with no socks.
He used like a 7-grain bun, right? Or a wheat bun.
He says. I'm upset that we didn't get this here You know me. I like hot dogs. It's a thing. When they start talking to me about my atherosclerosis and wonder how it is possible a marathon runner might be able to have so much rock in his heart, I can only point to the days of my youth where I'd smoke 2 packs a day, did that for 30 years. That's one of the reasons. The other one is because I ate at Evelyn's hot dog stand probably 3 times a week for 13 or 14 years. And if I wasn't eating at her place, any place that had a cheeseburger was usually a target for lunchtime sensations. Oh my God, I'm having a memory. I'm not having the memory. My mouth is having a memory. Do you remember, Real Jill, a place? It started in the same building that Shirley's is at now. In the lobby, I suppose, of whatever the building, the apartment building is there. Do you remember a place called Uncle Sam's?
No.
Oh.
Uncle Sam's?
Uncle Sam's, yeah.
What did they do there?
Made food.
Oh.
They have food.
No, but like plate food or
Yeah.
Okay.
But they made a really good sandwich there as well.
Sam's.
I mean, a really, really good cheeseburger there. And so it was close to the radio station, so I could walk from the radio station behind the KFC and then pop out in front of his place.
Who was the owner? I know you had to have known who owned it.
Sam.
Okay.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah, Uncle Sam.
Dig it out, boys. Dig it out. Somewhere somebody is going through a pile of papers now, or maybe old magazines or something like that. You know, I was reminiscing with somebody that used to work at Marine Drive magazine. Do you remember that back in the day? Anyway, with all pretty girls on the cover.
I got one every time at the gas station.
Yep, exactly. But maybe there's an ad in there. It was an Asian guy. I can't remember whether it's Korean or Chinese. And then his signature. You know how Jeff has got the beard and the pirate stuff.
Yeah.
His was a red, white, and blue hat that he wore at the shop.
Genius.
It was absolute genius. He graduated from Agania and opened a shop in Tamuning across from where GPO is. Right about now, and I think back then we called it Gibson's. Start looking around for some of that memorabilia. I got to break away. We got Fox News Live coming up next. Just me and Real Joe to take care of the next hour. No guest lined up, so I don't know. We can free fire zone this if you want to. I got stuff I can still talk about that is quasi local, quasi stateside, quasi humorous, quasi Ray, and I'll endeavor to keep you as entertained as possible for the next 59, 60 minutes until it's time for me to go and do other things in the world of radio. Stand by now. KUSG got you 93.3. I know it's past time to nominate, but I would like to say thank you very much to everybody that went to the PDN's contest site and nominated us for Pika's Best. Can't hardly wait to see the results of all of that. Right now, we'll find out what's going on around the nation and the world. It's Fox News on The Point.
More strikes launched. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. U.S. Central Command says the latest round began about an hour and a half ago and that they will continue to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten civilian mariners and commercial vessels in the region as a terror organization joins the conflict.
The Houthis have targeted and hit at least one tanker, perhaps 2 that were carrying Saudi oil in the Red Sea. This basically broadens the war. It creates a second front and really puts the risk of chaos in the world oil market at a much higher level.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. During a stop in Marietta, Georgia, President Trump again said Iran wants to make a deal and claimed the U.S. doesn't need Iran's oil.
We don't need the Hormuz Strait, but we do it because we have to do it because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, House Republicans have narrowly passed a $95 billion package that would help fund the Iran conflict. The U.S. and Saudi Arabia have signed a new nuclear agreement that could pave the way for the kingdom to enrich uranium for its civilian nuclear program. A Fox News poll sheds light on what Americans think of President Trump, the midterms, and economic growth.
A Fox News poll of over 1,000 U.S. voters finding if the November election was today, 53% would back the Democratic candidate in their House district, while 46% would back the Republican. The Democratic advantage comes as President Trump's approval rating stands at 39%, unchanged for the last 3 months. Roughly 3/4 of those polled, 76%, say they'd rate the economy as only fair or poor, and another 3/4 say inflation has caused them financial hardship. 23% want dramatic change in the government, 50% viewing capitalism positively, 30% favoring socialism, up 3% from last year.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin, 31% of respondents view the Democratic Socialist of America positively. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Sabrina Salas-Matsnani, and I approve this message.
Some people run for office for recognition and personal agendas, and there are those like Senator Sabrina Salas-Matsnani. Bree doesn't seek the limelight, and her only agenda is us. Bree continues to battle on our behalf, championing the needs of GMH, advocating for Guam's veterans, and bringing cannabis another step closer to becoming an industry. Bree elects Senator Sabrina Salas-Matsnani, number 12 on the Republican ballot. Bree, the difference.
When families feel safe, communities grow stronger. Senator Chris Duenas passed the Malig Act to put more officers on our streets and confront the meth crisis hurting too many of our people. He led efforts to expand affordable housing through the additional dwelling unit and advanced nitrate bills. And now he is authoring his second balanced budget that protect essential services while supporting private sector jobs. Steady leadership, real results. Re-elect Chris Duenas. He's focused, balanced, and ready.
I'm Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
France recorded 5,700 more deaths than usual during its heat wave last month.
Public Health France says during June's heat wave, there were around a third more deaths than would normally be expected. The total number of excess deaths, 5,722, are officially due to all causes, but average temperatures on June 24th and 25th were the highest ever recorded in France, and most deaths took place on or just after those 2 days. The number is described as unprecedented. People over the age of 75 made up 2/3 of the excess mortality. High temperatures continue to hit southern Europe. Firefighters in Spain are currently battling a 79,000-acre wildfire. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Africa's health agency says more than 1,000 people have died in the Ebola outbreak in Congo. Over 2,400 cases of Ebola have been reported, and officials say 80% of new cases have emerged outside known chains of transmission. A COVID-era scheme involving taking women's nude photos lands a former student in prison.
An Illinois man sentenced to more than 6 years in prison for hacking the Snapchat accounts of hundreds of women to steal nude photos of them. He went on to sell, keep, or trade on the internet. Kyle Savara now expressing profound remorse and shame for what he got up to as a University of Illinois student at home on COVID lockdown. Prosecutors charge he used internet-based phone numbers to send text messages to 1,500 women, posing as a Snap support team, getting security codes, allowing him to access their accounts. He even advertised his hacking service online and was paid by a Northeastern University coach to hack into the photos of women he coached. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
Former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife will go on trial next June, a New York judge says, as their lawyers continue to object to the U.S. military action that removed them from power. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Half a day. This is Jerry Yingling. Whether you know me as Jerry or Yingling, you'll find me on the Democratic side of the ballot, number 7. I humbly ask you to cast a vote for me, Jerry Yingling. Thank you. I'm Jerry Yingling, and I approve this message.
Introducing the Loop Rewards Hub, helping you save where it matters. Activate, renew, or bundle your services and unlock exciting rewards designed to keep you connected. Enjoy one free service of your choice, such as home internet, cellular service, or a mobile hotspot. Plus, get free data roaming, 50 cents per gallon off of fuel at Shell, and 5% discount off accessories. Get in the loop and enjoy more savings for your everyday life. For details, visit any of our stores or chat online at ite.net. IT&E, connections that matter.
Half a day and mabuhay. I'm Jesse Sky Suya Lujan. My dad, Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, is running for re-election. Guam is the place that made him who he is today. That's why he works so hard, because he wants to ensure the island is a better place long after he's gone. Please re-elect my dad this election. Si Jules Maasi, maraming salamat po.
I'm Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
Back to school starts with one important stop at the FHB Health Center. Get your child's school physical, immunizations, vision exam, and dental checkup with caring providers. Complete your child's back-to-school checkups at FHP and receive a free gift after the visit while supplies last. With one checkup, your child is ready for school, and FHB is here long after the first day of class for every stage of your child's health. Visit FHPGuam.com to request an appointment. FHP, our island, your clinic.
Got it. 6 after 9. Portions of the Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show.
There it is, 888-825-5888-TALK. So I reached out to a very close, very dear personal relation of mine that is affiliated somewhat with the Hormel Company and its distributors here on Guam. I asked, why don't we have this here yet? When is it coming? And the reason why is I would like to continue a broadcast tradition that I learned, and in fact I participated in the past over many years. And that is the Spam Cook-Off. But in this case, it would be the Spam Dog Cook-Off. I want you to ponder, if you will, the idea of taking some of our favorite hot dog kind of comfort food recipes and making it now with a Spam dog. As an example, we've got the hot dog stir fry on hot rice. There is not one of us that didn't have a parent in the house at one time or another that was not bored out of their minds, but was thinking about cooking dinner, but didn't want to get anything elaborate, didn't want to go shopping for anything. What do we got? We got hot dog and some vegetables and rice and onions. Okay, no problem. Skillet. You cut the hot dogs on the diagonal. You know where I'm headed here. You throw in the onions and the garlic and whatever, the beans and the greens and all of the other stuff in there. You fry it up in some soy sauce. Yeah. And then you put that on the hot rice. You want that now. Yeah, I can feel it because mine is doing it too. I can feel that the Totla factory is coming to life in my house. And I'm sure there are other versions of that in people's houses. Maybe a hot dog, Spam hot dog with some sauerkraut and tomato sauce. Again, on hot white grains of rice. That's the way the world ought to be turning. So I'm going to see if I can convince them when they do have the notion of coming out with the hot doggy Spam here on Guam. Might be something fun to do in a place. We could do a Spam movie. We can make a movie night with Spam. We'll go over to the Micronesian Mall and have a night, and it will be just Spam hot dogs. In the place to introduce it to everybody. Is there a movie that's got Spam in it besides that Monty Python skit?
No.
It's got. They've finally coming around.
Ads, Ray. They're making lots of money.
There is. Hold on, I'm looking to make sure. I've got a couple of piles of news in front of me, and there's a movie. I told you about this a couple of days ago, but there's a movie out about pickleball. Yes, I'm serious. It's called Dink, D-I-N-K. And Dink, once upon a time, it was an acronym for something, a double income, no kids. Basically in the yuppie days, right? So you get a boyfriend, girlfriend, they get married, they don't have kids, but the both of them are working, and so they go out and they do all of these YOLO things. They go ride camels and look at the Sphinx and the pyramids, and we get our selfies in front of the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. But we're not having any kids. That's the way it works. They're just going to keep making money and retire on all of that. Hold on, I'm going through the paperwork here because I want to make sure I'm all done, because I'm tired of the birthright thing. I think hopefully after having gotten a few people that have actually read the measure on the air here this morning and talking some sense and some rational stuff, we don't need to necessarily worry that the federal government is going to pull the citizenship rug out from under us, making us residents without a country. Residents of Guam without a country. Tomorrow Nation. That's the way we do that. I'm looking for the story on the pickleball because it's, you know who's in it?
Sydney Sweeney.
Ed Harris.
Ah.
You remember The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy from The
He
Rock.
was the officer in charge, right, of the bad guys.
Yeah. So there's a whole write-up that Epoch Times did on that. I might be able to find it and share it with you. Earlier, I read bits and pieces of the presidential statement on the occasion of the 82nd anniversary of the American liberation of Guam, the day the United States shattered a brutal occupation and carried freedom back to an island that had endured more than 2 years of suffering under Imperial Japan. That hard-won triumph stands among the defining victories of the Second World War and endures as a testament to the courage and indomitable spirit of the United States Armed Forces. With regard to the people of Guam, on this day, he said, we honor the resilience, there's that word again, and rich heritage of the people of Guam, and we pay solemn tribute to the men of the greatest generations whose gallantry and supreme sacrifice assured Guam's rebirth of liberty. And this beautiful island territory bore witness to one of the most glorious victories of the Second World War, and it remains indispensable. Guam remains indispensable. This beautiful island territory remains indispensable to the projection of American power across the Pacific and to the defense of our allies and, of course, our great republic. Thank you very much, Donald J. Trump. That's not the only time that the White House is saying something about Guam. There are nominations that are being sent to the Senate now. And among the nominations going to the Senate is Gretchen C.F. Shapert of Virginia. Isn't that the same place where this Griffiths guy is from? Gretchen C.F. Shapert of Virginia is going to be the United States Attorney for the District of Guam and concurrently U.S. Attorney for the District of the Northern Mariana Islands for the term of 4 years. So we have a new member of the judiciary that's going to be coming things, taking a look at how it gets done over at the District Court of Guam. U.S. Attorney, huh? U.S. Attorney. Now, I don't know whether this is going to get fast-walked or slow-walked. In Congress, obviously some roadblocks to many of the initiatives that the President of the United States has sent down to Congress. It's possible, though, that this might get a rubber stamp because, it's just Guam and the CNMI, right? And maybe this lady, Gretchen Shapert of Virginia, has... what's the word? How do we want to say? I don't know what the name is at the national level. But around here, it'd be somebody that was really good at folding the chairs after the rallies. So I'm wondering if this woman, Gretchen, was really good at folding the chairs at all of the big Republican events. Hey, you did a good job. Thanks for... Now, nobody asked you to sweep. I'm glad that you found the broom, though. Thank you very much, Gretch. And so it'll be interesting to see what she is going to be bringing. I might, while I'm thinking about it, hold on, let me just... No, I'm going to leave that page open. Sorry, I'm opening up a browser page so I can type in something about Gretchen C.F. Shapert of Virginia. But I've got a couple of recipes: chili, hot dog, and rice. Oh my God, yes. I was looking for recipes, Guam recipes with hot dogs to see if I can convert them into Guam recipes for spam dogs. And this is actually one of my favorite, chili hot dog. Interestingly enough, Hormel. Chili, no beans, with 3 hot dogs because, 1 is too little, 4 is too many. 3 hot dogs. You chop them up again on the incline. You can chop them, just straight like dime size. But I like to eat the bigger pieces in the chili. And then you serve that on hot rice with a couple of dashes of Tabasco, and you were absolutely good to go. But I will open up in a couple of minutes and see if I can find a bio on Gretchen C.F. Shapert and wonder out loud whether this is going to be a transition with a U.S. attorney for Guam and the CNMI that transpires while a major case is being discussed involving the, what do I call them? Not the PUA 7, the Saki 7.
There you go.
The Saki 7.
Saki.
Hey, they're going to get to travel. Going to go Disneyland. It's fun. 9:16. Who's on the phone?
Dr. Ron.
Dr. Ron McNinch.
Of the university.
He never left. Dark Eagle. Dark Eagle is the name of the missile that
Dark
Leland Betta
Eagle.
says they're missing. One of our, it's like the Thomas Dolby song from the 80s.
Yeah.
One of our submarines is missing tonight. Since she ran the ground here. As I said earlier, because it's still funny in my head, check Derry Road. It's 9:16. Dr. Ron McNinch, buenas and half a day.
Okay, Ray, 99 red balloons, dude. Was that chick hot or what?
Nena. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? The crazy thing about that, they did the song in English and in their native language, German.
Yeah.
But the German version was the one that went up higher on the charts.
Yeah.
In the United
I
States.
loved it. I loved it, man. It was cool. And also, Rock Me Amadeus in the German language was also really popular.
Falco.
Yeah. You know, I have to say, and be very blunt. As an American, you know, there's a saying: what do you call a person who only speaks one language? An American. Those songs really inspired me to want to study other languages. And I had a Swedish girlfriend in my freshman year in college. She was hot, man, I'll tell you. And she explained to me that she learned English by listening to ABBA.
Oh, wow.
And I started noticing she would talk in ABBA phrases. Hey, yeah, take a chance, no problem. You know, that kind of thing is just so funny, man.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Her name
Okay.
was
Wait. I found a picture of Gretchen Schaffert. Okay. It's Wikipedia, so take it for what it's worth. An attorney served as the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina and the U.S. Attorney for the District of the Virgin Islands. 2018 to 2022. Oh my God, she's a corruption chaser.
Wow.
If she was in the Virgin Islands, she was a corruption chaser. There's a story here in the news, just recent news, that these guys are in massive trouble right now because they've been dinged. They've been dinged on
the housing.
Yeah, housing. It was like $1.9 million, of which they've only spent about $550 million. And so yeah, they're in major trouble now.
You know, Ray, I've been to the Virgin Islands. There are no virgins there, man.
Thank you very much. But the U.S. suspends sending funds to Virgin Islands housing authorities, citing corruption on that story. I'll see if I can learn a little bit more while you and I are talking about this. But this is kind of interesting. So if she was down there 2018 to 2022. I wonder to what degree she may have presided over some of the issues that they had with the Department of Education. You remember those?
Right. I don't remember them, but I know that we've had constant give and take.
So we had the third-party fiduciary agent. I think they had something along the similar lines, and they kept trying to compare Guam's Department of Education and our use of federal funds with USVI. But I want to say that the Virgin Islands had significantly greater problems and was in bigger trouble. So now that I see who we're talking about, where she's been in the past, I'm wondering out loud here if she's coming out to Guam. Is this on a sunset tour, or is she starting to read some of the reports coming out of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and other U.S. attorneys that have been working here on Guam, saying, all right, your turn. You want to take a stab at this? Come on over.
You know, it baffles me why our leaders do not simply and President Trump is the great negotiator, and there's no other way of putting it than that. Why don't our leaders ask him to do some negotiations with us and get us a better deal with the federal government? That's all we have to do is ask. And our leaders do not ask him this.
What did you want to ask him? I forgot.
For a better deal and on any number of things. You know, for example, if I had it my way, no convicted felons or convicted sex offenders would come here to live unless we gave them permission to live here. That kind of thing. And we can do that through policy. We're a U.S. territory. U.S. territories can dare to be different than U.S. states.
Well, so that just became clearer now with this 9247 that has been introduced and has got everybody's knickers in a knot and hair on fire because they're reading headlines and not necessarily reading the actual body of the bill. That makes it very, very clear that we're not trying to do anything to destabilize or inject fear into actual citizens of Guam. We are citizens of the United States of America, and there's no such thing as a second-class citizen. If I wanted to be able to vote in the presidential race in the United States of America, all I need to do is move to the United States and cast my vote out there. Otherwise, it's all a question of geography. Anybody who listened to Bob Klitsky over the years knows exactly what I'm talking about and has learned it chapter and verse. But it is clear now from what he's writing about that the authority to determine who can live on Guam, who can come and go on Guam, is something that we might be able to work out with Congress, and there's no reason why we could not come up with language that would bar, as you say, sex offenders, kid rapists, anybody with a capital not capital punishment but capital crime from anywhere in the 50 United States of America could not come to Guam.
I would like for us to have what I term a residence commission. If there are exceptions to the rule, if somebody has long-standing family ties here, or if they're willing to live here conditionally, free from crime or whatever, after a certain number of years, we can make exceptions. But in general, we had a great security clearance here until 1962. We kept all of these crazy negative people out of here. People who are financial scofflaws and everything else. It wasn't just criminal. It was people who were in bad character that we kept out of here. And in a way, I have a theory that a lot of people on Guam view people from the U.S. mainland in an extremely positive light because that security clearance only kept the very best, only allowed the very best to come here. And so we were used to having the very best from the United States come to Guam. And then after 1962, we end up having just our doors flung open. You know, the Virgin Islands.
We got a new guy. We got a new guy lurking in Tumon. He sleeps across from that Little Picas.
Right.
Yeah, and so he doesn't go to Little Picas for breakfast. He goes to all of the trash cans. Trash barrels up, and I'm serious. He walks up and down the trash barrels and starts pulling food out of them.
You should get Chris Barnett on the phone. When he was in the media, he interviewed a guy from New Jersey who was given a plane ticket to Guam by the Amazon folks. He was living outside of an Amazon supercenter, and they gave him a ticket to Guam to get him out of their space, basically. And he did an on-air interview with that guy.
Sure.
And Chris can tell you all about it. I don't remember the exact details, but he did a very good investigative. That's when we did investigative journalism in the video media. He did a very good investigative journalism kind of piece on that, and it was eye-opening. You know, we've had people here who have profound mental illnesses who are simply given a ticket from either Hawaii or some other U.S. location and sent to Guam, and then they end up being like trapped here. It's a form of geographic prison, is what I term it. It's crazy.
Well, we've seen it happen all of our lives, and there doesn't seem to be anything that we can do about it. Even though, you know, I'm sure if we could come up with some kind of a plan using the vast sums of airline mileage that just Governor Lilian Guerrero has amassed in her 8 years as governor of Guam, use some of that mileage to be able to support exit trips, one-way tickets out of Guam. Where do you want to go? Anywhere but here. And so here's the mileage that you need. Pick out a spot. We'll get you the ticket, drive you to the airport.
And also we communicate to all the airlines, do not grant this person a ticket back to Guam. And we can do that just through corporate agreements, with memorandums of agreement with these folks, I believe. And I think that the problem, though, Ray, is that we have no real public leadership here. We have no people who are willing to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, Guam should not be a dumping ground for the rest of the United States. And I have to tell you, Guam's a wonderful place to raise children. I've raised 2 here. Guam's a wonderful place for our young people to grow and learn and be a true island person here. But we should not be a dumping ground for the rest of the U.S. It's just not fair.
Well, we are where we are, and here we are, how many days away from the next primary election, where we will whittle down from a five-team race down to just two for the Republicans and the Democrats.
I'm not so sure about that. I think that there's 5 gubernatorial teams, and there's going to be some disgruntled who are going to challenge that primary. That's what I think. And I've warned people about this for a long time, and apparently we have a crisis reaction system here, not a proactive planning system. We don't even plan the runoff election as the Virgin Islands does. The Virgin Islands, on a 5-year calendars everything, including runoff elections every 2 years for the delegate and or the governor, because they have the same system we're supposed to have. Yeah.
Well, so what on the Democrat side? Because there's 3 people. There's 3 teams that are running in that. So the winner of the primary only needs a numerical majority, right, but not 50% plus 1.
That's right. It's a plurality, but
now is there a threshold likewise that they would have to cross X number of votes, percentage of X number of votes cast?
I don't think that's. I think there's like a 20% number for nonpartisan candidates, but we have a partisan election as a threshold to the general election ballot. And I think that's something that a lawyer like Teresa Lahaye, who's a full-fledged attorney, could challenge as a candidate, because that's simply not fair. Also, Mary Torres, her husband's an attorney. He could also similarly challenge that at the congressional level. And so it's both
funny you mention that. I just got from Robert Celestial a flyer for an event. It is the Congressional Candidate Forum with Alicia Garrido Limtiaco, James Camacho Moylan, and Mary Camacho Torres. And no doubt they're going to be talking about RICA things, relationships with the federal government, et cetera. This is going to take place at the Class Lecture Hall on July the 28th. Doors open at 6. Come support your candidate. And it's going to be open to the public. Again, this is being put together by the PARS. And so this is going to be interesting because I was under the impression that we would not see anything like a forum or a debate between the 2 Republicans. I thought Jimmy Craig forswore those.
Yeah, well, Ron Camacho McNinch says that debates are always good.
You know what, I was thinking about that. There was a moment I was wondering, because we didn't get treated to a debate in the last gubernatorial election, and Governor Lilian Guerrero. And I think maybe to her credit, at the end of all of this, didn't feel that she needed to get into a debate. Why risk an outcome of a debate? And as pissed off as you and the students were at the University of Guam with her lack of attendance at a debate, didn't seem to blunt the campaign. Still got to be a governor. Got to be a governor in another term.
First, Ray, I love Governor Liu. I genuinely do. She's a personal friend of mine, but she lost all moral suasion by not debating. That is, political candidates need moral leadership from the public by discussing their views in public through debates in order to get public consensus to do things. And so, relatively, she won the election, but she lost the policy suasion or persuasion side of the House, and so she wasn't able to do anything even though she was elected. Well,
wait a second. I thought that was, is that an act of commission or an act of omission? What's been so you don't feel that she had a comfortable hand on a mandate to move things forward, and she hasn't been able to get anything done, and that's why it feels like the economy is moving backwards. Our hospitality industry, all of our industries, the only industry that we
is when we need him.
Right? WWCD.
Right?
What would Carl do?
Right. I have to say, people can love or hate Carl Gutierrez, but he was a man of action and honor, I have to tell you. And also Eddie Calvo, same thing. To me, he didn't care if he made people upset with him. He was a leader. Carl Gutierrez was a leader.
If Carl Gutierrez was the governor, if this was Carl times, there would have been a parade on Tuesday.
Yeah,
there would have been a carnival, one where I don't know how he would have done it, but he would have done it, and maybe it would only be a parade of the new vehicles at DPW and the new vehicles from the Guam Power Authority and Guam Waterworks Authority and the Harley guys, the motorcycle dudes, the Tiahans people that already got, if we could get the Falun Dong Chinese people down at Tumon Night Market, we probably would have been able to get them to do some marching, and all of the candidates would have come out, and there still would have been 40,000 people on Marine Corps Drive, even for that little Timu Pretend parade. There still would have been a ton of people out there.
Ray, I'm feeling your energy for Still the One, man. I really am. Also, ready for this? Let the Sun Shine In. What a fave song that was.
It was great.
Fifth Dimension. Right?
It was awesome. Dr. McNitch, I'm gonna let you run. I know that you probably want to get to more study on things like that bill with the citizenship, the birthright citizenship stuff, and maybe a clear understanding of who our new U.S. attorney is going to be. Her name, Gretchen C.F. Schaffert of Virginia, has been selected, and the nominations have been sent to the Senate. Apparently, just based on what I'm looking at, she looks like the kind of person maybe that would be interested in maybe a little bit more investigation of fraud, abuse, misuse of federal funds here on Guam.
And let's ask President Trump to please help us out and ask him to appoint a special representative to help lobby for our interests at the federal level to make Guam a better place. Let's dream to make Guam a better place and make that dream come true. Guam should not be a nightmare. Ray.
As I said, just give me a reason to stay. It's 9:32. I'll talk to you pretty soon, buddy.
Hey, always wonderful, Ray.
Yep. Dr. Ron McNitch on the radio. We're going to grab a quick news break with Joe Nugent-Charfus and our friends over at KUAM TV, and we'll come and kill the rest of the 9 o'clock hour.
Buenas and Hafa de Guam, I'm Jonathan Charfus. Here's a look at 3 stories you need to know for Thursday, July 23rd. A man has died after being struck by a vehicle in Anigua Wednesday afternoon. Guam Fire Department responded at around 2 p.m. to the parking lot of House and Chin Phi for a reported auto versus pedestrian crash. Firefighters and paramedics initiated CPR on the adult male victim upon arrival. Due to the severity of his injuries, resuscitation efforts were later terminated in accordance with GFD and Guam Memorial Hospital medical protocols. Guam Police Department is investigating the circumstances surrounding the fatal crash. More information will be released as it becomes available. More Guam families and community institutions are set to gain access to reliable high-speed internet. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration has signed agreements with GTA and IT&E to bring broadband service to approximately 1,340 previously unserved and underserved homes and 175 community anchor institutions, including schools, healthcare facilities, public safety agencies, libraries, and other essential organizations. Backed by nearly $5 million in federal and private investment, the initiative aims to close the digital divide, improve access to education, telehealth, emergency communications, and public services, while building a stronger, more resilient broadband network across the island. Officials say the project marks a transition from planning to implementation with a focus on ensuring every resident has access to reliable, high-speed internet regardless of where they live. And more patients from the federal states of Micronesia is now going to have greater access to health care on Guam. The Guam Memorial Hospital Authority is now accepting MyCare health insurance, allowing eligible MyCare beneficiaries to use their coverage for services at Guam's public hospital. Covered services include emergency care, surgery, women's and maternity care, diagnostic imaging, laboratory services, specialty clinics, rehabilitation, and other hospital-based care, subject to eligibility and referral requirements. GMHA says the move expands access to care for eligible patients across Micronesia while strengthening Guam's role as the region's healthcare referral center. Eligible patients are encouraged to contact MyCare before traveling to Guam to confirm coverage, benefits, and referral requirements. For these stories and more, go to KUAM.com. And for the latest updates, head on over to Instagram and follow KUAM News. Jonathan Charfus, KUAM News.
Mount Carmel Academy Charter School is bringing modern industrial arts to Guam's middle school students. We are proud to launch the island's very first Department of Defense-funded manufacturing and engineering program. Inside our brand new classroom, students work directly with high-tech equipment under the guidance of a Department of Defense certified instructor. Your child will gain real-world hands-on experience in robotics, engineering, automation, and advanced manufacturing. Mount Carmel students don't just learn, they build, create, and prepare for the real world. Enrollment is completely tuition-free. Spaces are limited, so secure your child's future today. Call Mount Carmel at 565-5128.
It's 9:36, and that is Brie time.
This time check is brought to you by Senator Sabrina Salas Matanani. You want change? Then breathe the difference. Re-elect number 12, Senator Bree.
My turn now? Yeah. Definitely my turn. I got my favorite propeller head on the line. That'd be Bob Kelly. And despite the fact that we've been having conversations over the course of the morning over many incredible and entertaining and important topics like birthright citizenship, birthright tourism, and et cetera, I think Bob's also sent me a dissertation, a doctoral dissertation on the origin of U and W and all of that stuff. Do we need to belabor any of that, Bob?
No, I'm calling about election advertising.
Go ahead.
Okay. Right now, a lot of the ads are using what we call the standby rule for federal elections, which requires to make the attribution that their name and I stand by this ad.
Correct.
And they're using it on local ads, even though it's not required. However, there is a major problem going on the political ads right now that will subject both the candidates and the broadcast stations to potential fines.
What am I missing?
Well,
you're my enforcement guy. Do we need to have the Ray Gibson treasure?
We lost him.
What the hell?
That's
what happens. It's what you get. All right. Well, just email it to me, and I'll take a look at it. But I did want to get into a little bit of stuff. So Bob and I are project guys. We've been together for, what is it, almost 10 years with this group, and many other years before that. And so we love partnering up on projects and working them through, logistics and this is a better place to do it than that, and just trying to put deals together. I was talking the other day because I'm a runner. I'm not a fast runner. I got nice legs, and I like to think I look good in a tank top. But I was talking about this guy, Josh Kerr, who set a new world record for the mile. After 27 years, it stood. The new number is 3 minutes, 42.66 seconds to run a mile. He did this in London. There was a guy in the guy he beat was going fast, too. He beat a Moroccan named Hikam El Garouj, whose finish time was, it was not in the race. He was the previous holder. 3 minutes, 43 seconds, 0.13. Kerr, and I was wondering about the nature of the project. Usually when you're doing something like this, a couple of years ago, a few years ago, they wanted to break 2 hours for the marathon. And in 2015, 16, that would be the equivalent of being able to land man on the moon at night or something. It was difficult. So they turned it into a project. Nike was a big part of it, but they brought in project management, and so they tried to identify every potential variable that would slow down a runner to the point where it would prevent him from running a 2-hour marathon. We've been getting close over the years, but it always seemed like a barrier. So, all right, well, let's break it down now. What do we have to do? So when they finally broke unofficially broke the record, the nature of the project was we need the lightest possible shoe that we can get that would give the runner the support that he needs for 26.2 miles. Okay, there we got that. And then we start looking at the aerodynamic nature of the clothes that they were wearing, whether they're going to get heavier with sweat. Do we need to find a way to wick this thing better? Hat, no hat, glasses, no glasses. They even found
the legs.
So you got to shave the legs. And they even found a stadium that, believe it or not, they found a stadium where there was no headwind in any direction. Exactly, and the runners that were going to be drafting in front of him, all of this was selected out. So I was wondering if I might learn a little bit more about this guy Josh Kerr, and sure enough, they looked at and tried to find ways to manage as much as possible his attempt at a new world record. He was kitted in I'm going to use an English word here for custom, a bespoke speed suit. and spikes created by sponsor Brooks, like the shoes I'm wearing right now, Brooks Ghost. Former designed to be both enhance his aerodynamics and improve breathability in the warm temperatures through laser cut perforations. The spikes, designed to maximize his biomechanics, featured a carbon plate and an aggressive rocker for propulsion and titanium pins to keep the shoe light.
Thought about everything, man.
Every little thing.
That's what we engineers do. We go to the nth degree.
Project management, baby. Do I have him back?
He's back.
All right, Bob. So what is it? What is it that the broadcasters have to ensure that the candidates are doing?
Number one, Chapter 17, Title 3 of Guam Code Etiquette requires that the candidates list the name and address of who sponsors every ad. We used to always do that, but now they've tended to try to do the I stand by ad. I'm so-and-so and I approve the ad, but that does not meet the requirement of who paid for the ad.
Right.
And that's a candidate is subject to a $1,000 per ad fine from the Election Commission for not including that. Now, that's on the candidate. The FCC under 74, our standard parts of all the FCC regulations require that all political ads indicate in the ad during the sponsorship who paid for the ad, which is basically the same thing. If it's a federal ad, you need both the standby and who paid for it.
Yep.
If it's a local ad, they don't need the standby, I approve it, but they must have who paid for it.
Okay.
Remember, we used to be very careful on that, and for some reason, I think people thought this standby met the requirement, but it really doesn't say who paid for it.
I got you. I'll go through the inventory of political ads and see which ones I've got to call and which ones are going to need some kind of a tag.
Jerry's, that was the one that hit me. That why is he doing this on a standby this ad when it's not required for a local office and who paid for it isn't in there? So that was the one that popped up. But to be honest with you, and it's not just the choice stations, everything I've kind of been listening to on the broadcast, it seems like it's become very popular to do I stand by this ad, but for some reason they seems to feel that has negated the requirement for the attribution of who paid for it.
Correct. Well, I'm from the school that says if you can identify just by listening who paid for it, then that should be sufficient. But if the chapter and verse, as you're pointing out, indicates that we need to have the name and an address of the paying party, then I'll just put that back in there. We still got an entire election to get through here. The one coming up.
I thought it'd be good to get it out on. Now, you might want to check with Maria and see if they've changed the code, but I don't think that's been changed in the Guam code.
No, the only thing they changed was
hasn't on the FCC.
Yeah, the only thing that has changed is trying to figure out a way to screw Jeff Pleadwell and Charlie Hermosa.
Yeah,
I think that was it. All right, Bob, I appreciate the time and the political tidbit. Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. My name is Ray Gibson, and I approve that phone call. Bob Kelly, treasurer. Anyway, so where was I? I'm not going to say I'm in love. I'm going to say that I'm very, very interested now in something that came out of the White House this morning. As I said, there's two things that emerged from the White House over the last couple of days. One of them is a statement from President Donald J. Trump commemorating the 82nd anniversary of the liberation on Guam. We're that big, guys. That even the White House recognized and wanted to pay tribute to Guam and our people, our very resilient and patriotic Americans that live here, and the greatest generation with heroism, bravery, and guts that got them out here and fighting some very, very harsh battles to liberate the island of Guam. I think that's fantastic. The other one was identifying Gretchen Schappert, an attorney who is going to be, if she is confirmed by Congress, will be Guam's U.S. attorney for Guam and the NMI. And, looking over the CV here, former U.S. attorney for the Western District of North Carolina and the District of the Virgin Islands. And I'm not going to say that there's corruption. And lots of it in the Virgin Islands, but it's just interesting that on the same day that I get this information about her coming out, we're also getting word that the U.S. Virgin Islands is the Minnesota of the territories, if you will. They were given almost $2 billion for housing.
Oh, no. Say it isn't so.
Squandered.
What?
Squandered. And there might be more to that story. I'm looking at headlines right now, but it occurred to me to see, well, maybe in the time that she was there, she might have had a couple of home runs in terms of convictions. And you can go to the Virgin Islands United States Attorney's Office. Now, I'm just going to read you the headlines from the Google search here. 2021, Virgin Islands U.S. Attorney's Office secures conviction of the first Paycheck Protection Program fraud case. You remember the PPPs?
Yeah.
Yeah. And another one from the Facebook page, the Virgin Islands Consortium, that just says, if convicted on all counts, the defendants face up to 80 years in prison or $4 million in fine. Norwegian Cruise Line emphasized the safety, blah, 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 blah. Former Virgin Islands senator convicted of wire fraud. And does her name pop up in this one? No, not yet. Convicted of 2 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of theft of federal program funds. In 2018. That would line up when she was there. U.S. Attorney Gretchen Safford has announced that Ramirez and Clavel face a minimum sentencing of 5 years and a $250,000 fine for a case that she brought in. The owner and operator, here's another story, tanker owner will be guilty of an ECA crime, $3 million under U.S. Attorney Gretchen Safford. For the District of the Virgin Islands, announcing that Lydia Cabrera, a former blah, 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 they intend to appeal his conviction and sentencing. We got another case here. She announced Henry, I think this might be tied to the last one here, faces up to 10 years in prison on the conviction plus a fine of $250,000. Gun runners convicted in Virgin Islands purchase weapons. And there's Gretchen Shappert's name there, found guilty of being a felon in possession of ammunition. And it goes on and on and on. Shappert announced that Mashama Ferdinand of St. Thomas was sentenced on Friday to 33 months in prison. So it has the sound of a U.S. attorney that likes to convict people and likes to take cases through the federal district court system. And I wonder who made the nominations, because doesn't it normally work like that? Don't we normally nominate a name from around here, somebody that we know, right? Yeah. I like Real Joe. He's a good guy. Comes from a good family, good father, all of that stuff. I think he'd make a great U.S. attorney. And we send that to the president, right? The president looks over all the nominations. So Peter Santos is online, says maybe she can mentor Dougie Moylan. No, Peter, give me a call. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, it won't take a couple of minutes, because I am kind of curious about something like this. Is it possible that we sent the names of certain local nominees for consideration by Donald Trump, but maybe somebody in the Department of Justice says, no, we need to send an outsider. We need to send somebody that's got a reputation and experience in taking some of these federal cases and seeing them all the way through the system and actually getting convictions. I think they do a pretty good job with some of the drug cases that we have. They've done all right, and they've got some pretty hefty convictions and fines over the years, but not so much by way of corruption. And we've got, if I'm her, and maybe this is a sunset tour, you want to go out on a bang?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bang it out, girl.
Yes, exactly. And it sounds to me like the federal government has put together a really, really interesting case, and we're not all the way out of it yet. Cousin Troy, if you're listening, I would submit to you that there's a possibility that we might have some interesting wrinkleage going on in these particular cases, and perhaps other cases that for whatever reason have never gotten so much light of day, if you will, over in a district court. So, oh my God, yeah. Never mind, our cases. Never mind our cases, but we've got some active stuff going on up in the CNMI as well. Wow. Justice. Accountability. Is it possible? Anyway, ponder. 10 away from the top of the hour. Been an interesting morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Hope you have found it interesting as well. I'd mentioned my friend Jerome McDonald's name not that long ago, and it was in relation to a story that reminded me a little bit about him. A 20-year-old man arrested for indecent exposure following an incident at the Lady of the Lake Lowe's store. According to the victim, was completing an Instacart delivery when Landon Spearman approached her and repeatedly asked for photographs of her feet. After she declined, she accepted his phone number in an attempt to end the encounter. However, as she walked away, Spearman allegedly exposed himself. He reportedly followed her in the store until she sought help from other customers. Police eventually showed up and hauled him to jail. So there you go. So it might, sometimes you think that it might be just a simple, kind of easy to explain away foot fetish. My God, they've got websites for that. People making significant money, putting their kids through college, showing off their feet.
Yeah, just trying to pay student loans.
Is that? Hey, to what degree is? I'm just kind of curious. As usual, feet. To what degree is a person's feet a red flag for you? When you look at the feet, you look at like toenails and stuff. Is there a textbook foot where you go, you know what? She might not have been the prettiest girl in the world. Probably wasn't going to win any pageants, but man, she had really nice feet.
Yeah.
She had good
yeah.
She looked
nice feet.
She looked good
and
in
they
shoes.
Smell good.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you ever look at somebody and you're like, wow, man, got a rockin' bod, got a rockin' face, everything in the right
Beauty
place.
queen.
Yeah, and then
What is that?
Then you look at the feet and you're going, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so I just thought I'd a little story there, a snippet of a story. I'd started talking about the guy Kerr that was among the fastest guys now on the planet. 3 something in terms of speed, fastest mile now. How long is that record going to stand? And that story was bundled with another story about America's fittest cities. And it ain't us. Sorry. What the heck, racist Jerome? Hillbilly toes pointing in different directions. Wait, you didn't say if that was a red flag or a green flag, Jerome. I'm going to assume that it's coming from you. That might actually be a green flag. But anyway, America's fittest cities. Arlington, Virginia, and Minneapolis are America's fittest cities, according to the latest annual report from the American College of Sports Medicine and the Elevance Health Foundation, based on parks and recreation infrastructure. Lose already. You know, after the 5K and the Liberation Mile, as I was walking back to my truck that I'm in love with because it's a Nissan Frontier. Details at nissanguam.com on the World Wide Web. But as I was walking back, you know, they used to have that area in the park where they get the monkey bars. Are we still allowed to call them monkey bars?
You can.
They're monkey bars.
They are monkey bars.
I don't care what color you are. There's monkey bars. And they got that. They got the thing where you lay down and you do crunches. And they've got they kind of offset, one that's up high and then one that's very low.
I don't think you can call it monkey bars anymore. I think it's Jungle Gym now.
I'm uncancelable.
I'm sorry, man.
But they've got one for pull-ups or chin-ups. Or monkey ups.
It's a military.
Yeah, yeah.
Ups.
And so we need to. Somebody needs to go and put a platform down because it's been so used over the years that the place where you stand underneath the bar is about 4 inches under the standard grade.
Yeah, sinkhole.
I'm 5'9". All right, I'm not the tallest dude on Guam. But, I should be able to, from a standing position, just jump up and grab it. I couldn't jump up and grab it.
Dude, if I was there, I would have picked you up.
Right.
Yeah,
Somebody pick me up and do that.
You do that.
So I was able to get one arm connected, but it was one of those things where I felt like it pulled my shoulder out, and it's just starting to heal up from a rotator cuff. And I thought, all right, let's not messing around with this thing. The other one was too short for me to do. I'm just saying. So when we start talking about things that are good for the overall health, it's nice to have nice parks and recreation infrastructure, environmental conditions. We've got that, and healthy health indicators among the communities. This says there's two types of cities: one where healthy choices are built into everyday life, and another where structural barriers continue to limit long-term health. You know, there used to be a little bit of a Jungle Jimmy thing over at Epau Beach Park, Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park.
True.
And now I think it's just a stand with a piece of pipe that I don't even think it's attached right. I think it's on a rope, right? The pipe that they've got down there at Epau Beach.
Yeah, it's falling apart over there, bro.
No surprise. The top-ranked cities tend to have lower obesity and chronic disease rates, more walking and biking activities, and better park and recs access.
Legs always hurt, huh, Ray, when you visit a city?
Yeah.
Gotta walk a lot.
Everywhere. Cities that consistently rank at the top aren't succeeding because of one program or one investment. They've built systems that support healthier living over time. They're the ones creating environments where physical activity can easily become a part of everyday routines. All right. So how do we turn this into a full-blown bitch fest? Sidewalks. Why does Guam hate sidewalks? What happened? We've got sidewalks, and we've got a number of perils that are associated with the sidewalks. Sometimes we build our sidewalks, and somebody says, you know what? Let's put a tree. It needs a tree. So they put a tree in there, and the tree grows, and it spreads the roots, and the roots force the sidewalk all kimbo, like coming down John F. Kennedy. They planted those nice flame trees.
I know what you're talking about.
Right? And so if you know where to slow down and take a leap, then you slow down and take a leap. If you don't, it's butt over tea kettle, and there's going to be bruises. You got plenty of that there. We've got the perennial trip hazards elsewhere. There are some sidewalks that are just plain uneven, and you got to watch out for those. And then we've got these little square tubes that they put in place so that they could put traffic signs and things that tell you how fast you can go up and down the street, or which way is this or which way is that, which way you can go, which way you can't go, unless you're Korean. Those things don't apply to you. You can go anywhere you want to. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. We've got those trip hazards. And then the ultimate favorite is one day they decided that they were going to put a sidewalk, but there was a utility pole there already. So what did we do? How did we get around it? We didn't get around it. We built the sidewalk right there with the utility pole right in the middle of it. That's so the other thing is it's hot here. I get that. There are people that don't want to go out there and do a half hour, 45-minute walk just because it's hot. We'll go in the morning and go in the evening on the sidewalks that are good, like down in Tumon. We got some decent sidewalks down in Tumon. And maybe one day, maybe one day, as we close out the program here, we can dream that there might be a sidewalk that starts over at the village of Donkey and goes up the hill and passes by the Guam International Airport. Maybe one on the other side where the flagpoles are. And we take it all the way up to all the way up to 76 Circle K. Maybe get ourselves some healthy refreshments and Spam hot dogs and whatever, and then turn around and go back down. What's that going to end up being? A couple of miles?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 miles or something like that?
Easy.
Yeah. And what a great way to go and wave at tourists as they're coming in off the buses and all of that stuff. One of these days, we'll have nice things again. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. KUSG got you 93.3 is Pika's Best. For real, Joe and Donna D, I want to say thank you very much for listening to the program here this morning. Hope you had a good time. We're going to do this again tomorrow, right? 4 solid hours of the Ray Gibson Show on Pika's Best tomorrow. No frowny faces tomorrow. Check you later, bro. Mine is Ray. I'll see you later.
U.S. forces conducting more strikes. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Central Command says it's the 12th night in a row of targeted hits on Iran designed to degrade its military capability as rebels from Yemen join forces with Iran's Revolutionary Guard.
The Houthis had threatened to target and blockade Saudi oil Even that threat alone was enough to make several tankers turn around, make U-turns, head north out of a longer and more expensive route out of the Suez Canal. Now that they have struck and disabled at least one tanker, possibly two, that's really going to change things. Saudi Arabia had been trying to move millions of barrels of oil out of the Red Sea, trying to flee from the chaos in the Strait of Hormuz. Now that route, at least in the short term, may be closed.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. The House narrowly passing a measure that would fund the Iran conflict.
Tacking on the Save America Act. But there's GOP skepticism. Senate Majority Leader John Thune may not even tackle the budget blueprint until September.
We could pull that budget resolution passed by the House and use it to fund government.
That package is immune to filibusters. Republicans could then cut Democrats out of the funding process. Republicans hope the threat compels Democrats to help avoid a full government shutdown.
Fox's Chad Pergram in Washington. In West Virginia, the National Guard has